deals with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.
Flight Sports TV.
What's going on, people? It's Flight Sports TV. You already know what it is, man. We're back with another one of them things, man. We appreciate everybody for checking with me tonight. Listen, we're going to be discussing Liangelo Ball. You already know what time it is right now. We're going to be discussing his Drew League progress. You understand, as he has moved to the point guard position thanks to Lavar Ball. You understand, such a timely, calculated decision by Lavar to move Jello there so he could definitely be put in different situations on the floor. I'm telling you, it is definitely proven to be a benefit for his career. Liangelo Ball, I'm telling you, we about to see a whole nother player. We've had the Bone Collector here live on Flight Sports TV telling us we are going to see a different Jello than we are accustomed to seeing. And boy, goddamn it, I'm here to tell you right now, he ain't never lied. It's Flight Sports TV. Listen, Jello, his first game. We're going to get into everything in a minute. I'm going to shut everybody out. I just want to get the business real quick. Bear with me. It's Flight Sports. You know what time it is. Jello, his first game, ladies and gentlemen. He had 13 points, 8 assists. I'm telling you, that assist, that eight on that first game is major. That's almost bigger than the points. I'm trying to tell you. When the guy moving to the point guard position, shit is different. And Jello has proved that. Ladies and gentlemen, the man had 5 rebounds. This ain't just for show, y'all. You understand? The man was filling the stat sheet. Fast forward, you know what he did the other night, 48 hours ago? We're going to get to that too. You understand? We're going to definitely get to that. Salute to everybody in the chat. I see everybody in here. I see everybody in the building. Salute to Thunder. Shout out to everybody. We got Rave in the building. Then we got Zen. Hold on, y'all. I got y'all in a second. I just want to get the business real quick. Bear with me. Jello, his last game, 27 points, 12 assists. Remember, I told you I circled that assist number. That's major. That's major. It's Flight Sports. Look, do you see the increase and was able to consistently stay at that 5 spot on the rebound column? You understand? I think that's another major key we got to understand when we discussing Liangelo Ball. You understand? Yo, the Jello is on his way to new heights. We're going to get into, and also we're going to get into Lavar Ball coaching as well, because the Triple Bs, they got kind of wiped off the floor the first game. It wasn't the best showing. They brought it that second game. They just didn't come up victorious. You understand? So, but we got to give major credit to Lavar Ball for bringing it. You know, his team definitely brought the fight. You've seen a different level of intensity in everybody's eyes. And we must credit Lavar Ball for getting his guys up and ready to play. They came up a little bit short. We got all access. What's the deal, Dex? Talk to the people. We live.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Flight Sports TV, the machine, the voice of the voiceless, the people's champ. Shout out to the panel. Shout out to the chat. And shout out to everybody rocking with Flight Sports tonight. We should have a doozy for you today because it's a whole lot to unpack when it comes to Liangelo Ball and this transition into point guard that will add to his repertoire of his specialty, which is a sharpshooter.
That's major facts. Rave Kingdom, what's the deal? Let's talk to the people. We live.
Most definitely. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Flight Sports TV, the hottest in the streets. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the panel. You already know what it is. We're giving to you the greatness. And we're talking about our boy Jello Ball, you know what I'm saying? The BBB, this Drew League. And our Jello Ball is most definitely putting out a shine on the cameras and letting these people know what is it about, man. So I'm glad to be here, man. Can't wait for everybody to enjoy the show tonight.
That's facts. We're gonna definitely enjoy the show, man. Zen Master, what's the deal? A shout out to your Boston Celtics, man. You live to fight another day.
Exactly. What's happening, y'all? Flight Sports is the hottest thing on the streets, to reiterate my man Rave's Kingdom. What's happening, Rave? What's happening, Dex? How y'all doing tonight?
Yeah, shit, I can't call it. And I'm chilling. What's the
Hey,
deal?
hey, you know I'm here. I'm here to learn as much about the Ball family as much as I can, and
Right.
just pay homage and support.
We appreciate you. We're gonna definitely do that. So back to basketball for 1 second. How impressed are you seeing from Liangelo Ball? For instance, Zen Master, you kind of new to this, like you've been saying. You know, you're getting acquainted. What was your thoughts with Jello? I don't know if you've seen the first game, but
I
what
did.
did you think of that second game? I know the level of competition was kind of up and down, but him individually, what were you able to take away?
Yeah, I'll take it back. I didn't see the first game. I did see the second game, and he played very well. But the concern for me is the same as everyone else, as you mentioned, the level of competition. But you can only beat who's in front of you, and
Right.
the Drew League is, it's a step above, gym basketball. Let's say that rec basketball.
Yeah, so
Um,
that's what I'm saying. We acting like this guy went to play at the local park. I mean, we gotta put things into consideration here
right.
and proper perspective. I think we kind of discredited the Drew League and
Yeah.
everything that it represents to think that they just threw some idiots out there. You know, these guys are striving to have aspirations for something.
I mean, there's some ringers in there. I think people see the ringers, and that's what they focus
People
on.
got kids, man. You
But
know,
if you
people
head
got
into
families, man. But go
true,
ahead. They out there for a reason. Shit ain't all laughs and jokes.
true. What I was going to suggest was that if you're Leangelo, this is a warm up for you, and you should take it as such. You're trying to get invited back to the summer league so you can do your thing, and that's really the focus. So for him, his numbers are what is important, way more than anything we perceive. The scouts are going to look at his numbers, and he did well when it came to that.
Right, definitely with those numbers that I stated before. Jello, he had 27, 12 assists. Ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to circle that 12 assists because he upgraded from that 8 assists the first game out. You telling me a guy moves to the point guard position his first game and throws up 8 assists, then there's filling up the stat sheet. Second game, I told y'all the efficiency was going to be up. And what happened? The efficiency was up. Didn't I say that?
For sure.
I said that. I said, listen, expect Jello. If okay, he didn't have the most efficient game. You understand the first game.
Hmm.
You know, I felt like everybody was kind of thrown together. And then, like I said, first game of or whatever the hell, you know, no excuses. But I'm just putting things into proper perspective. They look like some people that just got thrown together that first game. Second game, not so much. It looked like there was a little bit of a squad. And then also, like I said, Jello, like I just looked like he was much more comfortable. Like I said, you didn't see the first game, but Rave did and Dex did. Will speak to my man Jello's comfortability level. Rave, didn't you see a different level of comfort in Jello 48 hours ago opposed to a week ago? Talk to me.
Yeah, it definitely was once again shout out to the chat.
Salute to
Most
the
definitely.
chat. Shout out to
Um,
everybody that's in the building. It's Flight Sports TV. You already know what time it is. We're talking G3. Go ahead,
for,
Rave.
for sure. It goes back to my chat. I mean my take on Jello on his very first game. I said y'all gotta understand this is his first game. This is gonna be his competitive game playing point guard in a while. Um, I think his last really competitive game was a while back. Everything else just been practicing his handles. You know, Bunk like you said, he's been in training, and this is Jello's first game. And when I watched the first game, I said, "You guys, listen. If you're paying attention, you saw Jello chuck up a three. You saw Jello pass the ball. There's times that Lavar would yell at Jello like, "Hey, shoot it, shoot it, shoot it." But then Jello, his mindset was like, "Well, I thought I'm supposed to pass it," but he didn't realize he had the beautiful wide open shot. But then again, And there would be times where it was the opposite, where he didn't have the shot, and he'd been hearing his father yell, "Shoot it!" So he's like, "Okay, I got this. Let me shoot this right here." But he didn't know that he had a wide open pass on a cut. So it was really, honestly, I felt like you guys gotta understand. I think I said it before. It's much easier for a 1 to go to the 2 and 3 than a 2 and 3 go to the 1. Why? Because now you have to start thinking about all the things and put it all together and do it correctly.
Playmaking
And as point guard,
responsibilities.
anybody knows the point guard spot is one of the most responsibility things on the court. So, for example, if you're a big man, you kind of have an idea: set the screen, grab the rebounds. What I'm saying, put up a little floater, do your thing in the post, la la la. Power forwards about the same thing, spread the floor a little bit. Small forwards, play good defense, play two-way, both sides of the court. Shooting guard, shoot is that's much in their name. Shoot the ball, run around, come off screens. But that point guard is the brain. That point guard is the network where that choo-choo trains correctly. That point guard is that navigation for the team. So, point guard is I'm passing the ball, I'm playmaking
directing traffic.
I'm dribbling. I cannot lose the ball. You don't want to lose the ball. And at the same time, not only you're making plays and brainstorming for the team, you also have to score. You also have to create your shots. You also have to ask for a screen and come off that screen and still shoot. So, like I said, it's much easier for a 1 to drop to the 2 and 3 than it is a 2 and 3 drop to a 1 because you're asking for more responsibility.
Major facts. Dex, speak to Jello's comfortability level 48 hours ago opposed to a week ago. Did you see a different level of comfort that Jello is finding at that point guard position? What's your thoughts, Dex? Talk to the people. We live.
Most definitely, I saw an improvement with that aspect of his psyche, and also I seen that Liangelo knew that he had to be more assertive as far as putting points on the board, and I believe that his team is cool with that. So that in itself will give him a level of comfort that he wouldn't have any self-doubt or any self-deprecating as feeling as if he's being selfish.
Right.
Because far and most often, a lot of players that's in his situation will be selfish as a motherfucker. Because he feel that this is my time. This is my theater.
Yeah,
and
but you
so
gotta show what kind of player he really is, though.
I'm going to do what I want to do to make sure that I get to that next level. And if it takes fighting off any of my players' head, I'm willing to do that. But this is not the characteristic of Liangelo Ball. He did not inherit that type of self-deprecating behavior. So he passes the
Dex, if you think it's all about scoring, then no, you shouldn't take it all on yourself. But if you take it all on yourself to be a team player, to play your game as a team player, then yeah, you can be selfish in that regard and say, I'm gonna go out here, I'm gonna assist the hell out my team tonight, and I'm gonna be efficient, and I'm gonna do this on rebounds. It doesn't always have to be about, I'm gonna go out there and score 30 to impress the scouts. And I'm not saying that you're suggesting that. I'm just saying that in general, guys need to focus on their regular game and make sure it's extremely sharp in these situations. Don't try to play out of yourself is what I'm saying.
And so by him not displaying any kind of self-deprecating behavior out there on that basketball court, when all the spotlight is on him, shows what type of mentality that Liangelo is working with. When you notice that 12 assists, a lot of those assists was long pass, come out of the basket, come off the rim, inbound, long pass up the court. He wasn't trying to dribble and dilly dally down the court to keep all the highlights. To keep all the highlights on himself and things of that nature. He was very active and proactive of getting other members of his team in the game and tried to get them as easy as buckets as he could. Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of point guards in that situation, and I'm addressing the psyche here. Mm-hmm. A lot of point guards in that situation will dribble, will go behind the back, will go between the legs, will do a lot of unnecessary dribbling, wasting a whole lot of energy and fuel that could be used in the fourth quarter. He didn't do all that. He dribbled as much as he could, and then when he saw something open, he released the ball. And that's the type of point guard and guardianship that we need to get back to in the NBA. Not a player that's walking the ball up and down the court all day or doing all these unnecessary dribbles, crossover, and try to just be and one for the totality of 48 minutes or whatever minutes he's allowed it out on the court. So what I love about Liangelo Ball, that the Lavar Ball mindset has definitely been inputted in Liangelo, and to show that he appreciated his dad info and instructions and direction, he output it. So when we see it on whatever platform that we see it on, we can relish and be satisfied that if he keeps this up and steadily trend north, he definitely will be in the NBA uniform on opening night.
AMJJ made a point in the comments that he had 10 turnovers, and that's definitely a negative that he needs to work on.
Right. Well, Dex, I got a question. I want to ask you another one, because it seems to be, because Zen was sitting here talking crazy a little bit, it seems to be like he's kind of discrediting the Drew League, and the competition level. What's your thoughts on the Drew League being discredited? Because it was another player, which happens to be his brother, who took full advantage of the Drew League, and it worked out very well, and my man, LaMelo.
Honestly,
I already know what time it is.
Honestly, every Chino Hill basketball player that played on that undefeated team played in the Drew League. Every last one of them. From Andre Ball to Eli Scott to Big O to Liangelo. This is Liangelo. This is not his first go around in the Drew League. You know that, right? This is not Liangelo's first go around in the Drew League. Lonzo and his brother LaMelo, of course, and a few bench players that was on that squad. I can't think of the Hispanic guy name, but yes, listen. The Drew League is an opportunity to get exposure. Now, we understand that they have a connection with the NBA, official connection with the NBA, and they have an official connection with the WNBA, because they have a women's Drew League as well as the men's Drew League. So they have actually two leagues that's helping in developing or exposing and allowing these players to engage in outreach to certain NBA scouts or even collegiate scouts. So the Drew League is a very important league in the Southern California area, as far as the pro-am and things of that nature. But hell, I mean, California get hated on a lot. You know what I mean? So it's nothing new to us. We know that a lot of outsiders.
I didn't just Drew League. I said I saw there was some ringers.
Only the hit dog will howl, but I wasn't directing that to anybody.
There's some ringers. No, Flight called me out. There's some ringers. And you see an old fat white guy with gray hair. You want to tell me he's trying to get a spot in the NBA? He's not. That's what people are going to focus on when they look at the competition.
Well, that's only if they chasing negative stimulation.
That's all that I said about the competition.
But you know what? It's a couple of older guys that's in the Drew League that still have game. But I mean, they're past their prime as far as being a productive NBA player and things of that nature.
So
but a lot of that Drew League also is based on getting money and getting paid. Some of those players that play on those teams get paid because I'm quite sure some wagers going on in that Drew League. You feel me?
But they ain't all vying for Summer League or G League or NBA spots at all. We can't say that.
Let me know when y'all done, because I gotta address something.
Go ahead, Ray. You can go ahead.
Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we all need to also remember put something in context. Ladies and gentlemen, and it's just excluding this definitely goes out to Fresh Prince of Belize and Slat in the chat and whoever else that's kind of misunderstanding this. This Drew League was meant for Joe to be played last season anyways. But he didn't, as we know, that he's playing the Charlotte Hornets gym. Now here we are in the Drew League again. Now, what y'all have to misunderstand is I don't listen, the him playing point guard is not us saying Jello needs to play point guard in the NBA. That's not quite what's going on. We're showing his versatility. We're showing that he can hold the ball without losing it. He can actually dribble a little bit. He actually have a good IQ. As you've seen, the man had 12 assists. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, Jello Ball has already shown a huge strength that is already capable of being a part of the NBA, which is, guess what? That three-point line. He's a sniper. And I think his time with the G League that he's played in and that summer league, that he's shown that he can play that three-point. To me, he also shown that he can run up and down that court, and he's shown that he has no problem hustling and passing the ball and whatever it takes, whatever it takes to whatever to do on the court that it takes to win and stuff. So that's not why we're putting him in the Drew League as okay, he needs to be point guard. No. We know he's probably not going to be no number one. That's not the case. Stop getting it misunderstood. We're saying here's the Drew League where we can showcase some type of talent that shows other than the 3-point, other than the mid range. He can show that he can have IQ on the court, which is 12 assists. Yes, he had 10 turnovers. That is true. That is fine. But he also shown that he went from 8 assists to 12 assists from first game to second game, and with more points. The man is putting everything together. He is working on that. Like, I don't see why you guys can bash a person for showing the NBA and showing people who are watching that he is trying to put it all together and show that he can go out there and be capable of doing things on the court other than doing just one thing or two things. He can now show that he can try to do about 5 things. That's either making plays, passing the ball, shooting the 3, whatever it takes, mid-range. You know what I'm saying? That just shows what he does. These guys, for example, why do you think they have combines? They already know they have a whole college film on these players. But they still got the college film players jumping over sticks, touching, doing verticals. They still got them doing bench presses because they're showing scouts they can do more than one thing, what they're capable of. So Liangelo Ball going to the Drew League this season is to keep him playing some basketball, keep him showing out his skills, get his shots up, and he can also show that he can play the 1 spot, the 2 spot, the 3 spot, whatever spot he got to play to show that he is capable of playing in the core we call the NBA. Now, he's already been in the G League, but we want to show that how can he be more accessible to the team? How can it be more of this? So stop looking at it like, oh my God, y'all trying to push in the point guard. No, we're trying to push the fact that Jello is a quality enough player to play in the NBA with the best of them. That is what we're trying to do, and please don't get it misunderstood.
And also, you got to look at it like this as well. Those 10 turnovers or whatever turnovers that he have, I don't look at that as an indication of what we're going to see moving forward. I see those multiple turnovers as something as something to work on, because we actually are witnessing a new molding of a ball brother. And if you can't grasp that and put that in your head, that you are witnessing a new molding of a ball brother, just the same as with Lonzo, but we didn't get a chance to witness it. We only saw the results. But now, Liangelo is front and center showcase in the Drew League, and thanks to Lavar for allowing his son to go into the Drew League instead of just practicing somewhere else, privately and things of that nature, and having these private workouts where we won't be able to see his growth and development. He's putting it right in front of our eyes, live, in color, and in 3D. Liangelo Ball actually going into a cocoon as a caterpillar, and hopefully he'll come out the chrysalis as a butterfly. You follow what I'm saying? So we're actually looking at a metamorphosis of Liangelo Ball transition his game right before us. And I know sometimes when you mold things, when you initially start molding, it looks a little ugly until you start seeing the shape and the form, and then you get into the details, and then you harden it up, and then you put it on display as a finished product. So that's what we're actually witnessing. So don't get in your head that the mistakes that you actually see Angelo do, a whole lot, everybody done went through this, but the difference is we're watching it live as Liangelo transition and or add to his specialty, which is being sharpshooter. So he is doing this right in front of us, regardless the embarrassment that we might instill on him because he has turnovers or he missed shots or he didn't grab this rebound or this dude ran past him and things of that nature. We're actually witnessing Liangelo being molded. So we're seeing the mind of Lavar being placed on Liangelo as we watch the Drew League. So when Lavar says, yeah, I teach my son this, I tell him this, do that, we're looking at it. I hooked him, I put him with these people and blah, 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 blah. All the stuff that he told us about Melo and Lonzo, and to some aspect, Liangelo, but we never really witnessed it. We're actually witnessing it right now. So that should be appreciated in itself. So when we see the finished product, those of us who was on board early, we can say, you know what? I saw that maturation physically as well as psychologically develop right before my eyes. So nobody can tell me nothing about this cat right here because I've seen it for myself. So thank Lavar, thank BBB, and thank Liangelo for being encouraged enough to put his skill set on the line in front of all the naysayers, in front of all of those who are cheering him on. Whether you optimistic about him or pessimistic about him, he's still putting it on before us. And like I said, it's not like he's just doing what he normally do, just sharpshooting. No, he is doing something new. So this is the caterpillar stage of Liangelo Ball growth and development into an NBA player by playing point guard. And when he's playing in the Drew League, that is the cocoon that he is undergoing his metamorphosis. And like I said, once he cracked that chrysalis and those wings start to flap, we're going to start seeing him floating in the NBA with a name and a moniker on his chest with his name Ball in the back as an NBA player on an NBA roster, hopefully opening night.
That's facts. We got no panic in the building. Salute to everybody in the chat right now. We're discussing G3, G Honcho. You already know what it is. G3 has moved to the point guard position, and we're seeing more and more comfortability. Pardon me. We're seeing more and more of Liangelo Ball getting comfortable at that point guard position. It seems to be a huge level of comfort from the second game opposed to the first game. You understand? Also, him building on that 8 assists, going up to 12. What the hell is going to happen the third game? You understand? That's what I'm thinking. No panic. What's the deal? What's your thoughts on G3, G Honcho? Talk to me, man. It's Flight Sports TV. Salute to everybody in the chat.
I'd like to keep my comments about Jello to myself. Thanks.
Oh, y'all have nothing good to say about Jello?
I
you seem like you discredited the Drew League. Okay,
listen. I just saying about to never change how I feel about his game.
Okay.
No matter what I say, he gonna sound crazy and he gonna be
okay. No, all right. So let's talk about the Drew League for a second. You don't really think the Drew League is a high level competition? Are you discrediting the Drew League because we've seen LaMelo Ball go to the Drew League when his stock wasn't as high as it was now? Of course, it was for us, but opposed to the public. What the hell was Melo doing out there in the goddamn Drew League in the first place? What the hell did he have to prove? But, that's neither here nor there. He was there, and he definitely did his thing, and it worked out well for him. Why can't that be for Jello?
I mean, let's see. Okay, the Drew League popular. Everybody know the Drew League is. They got players coming through the G League, and it's kind of like these summer runs. Like you don't really see NBA players as much in the Drew League nowadays because all of them kind of getting together and running their own little open runs, like little couple of down, or little weekend or whatever, or like a bunch of NBA players just get together and they have their own open runs. They might still pepper in and play, but you got to think about it. The Drew League, and I ain't trying to diminish them because I mean, like I used to watch and1 basketball. I used to watch like all these.
Hey man, you gotta fix your mic.
Okay, can't hear me.
Now we hear you. Gotta fix your mic. It's kind of fuzzy.
I got no mic on the phone, but at the end of the day, you got to think about it. The players that they bringing out there, like they getting on the court because they know somebody, because they've been running for a little minute. Like heck, we see the Ball family bodyguard been on the court. Like that's the level of competition you testing yourself against to prove something to somebody. I mean, I can't snap that. Like if I a scout or I somebody with a team, I can't just look at you in the Drew League and be like, he ready. Because I mean, a lot of them dudes be at LA Fitness. I mean, that ain't even a knock to them. I mean, it doesn't knock them if you think about it, but at the end of the day, like we all can see, that ain't even summer league competition.
Right.
Hey, Flight. Since he can't do it, I'm gonna say that when it comes to Jello and the Drew League, man, I feel like more proud than impressed. I say more proud because he saw that he went out there and he could have easily put his head down because his first game wasn't the greatest of games, even though he did pull off some good points.
It wasn't the most efficient, man.
Yeah, he had some good points and he had like 8 assists. So even though he pulled out some I think it was like 16 points or something like that. Even though he pulled that off,
it was 13.
He still right. He still was very questionable. A lot of people saw the ifs, and then he turned around the next game and played a way better game. Even though he still has some troubles, as you saw with turnovers, and he could have made better decision making. I felt like he went out there and didn't keep his. I mean, he didn't have his head down like that. He went out there and showed a body of work by going out there and like creating points for the team. 12 assists. I mean, that's something I don't think we should shy about because not everybody gets 12 assists. I would like to say that. I feel like I'm also more proud of Jello because he's taking responsibility, which a lot of people don't understand that the point guard is a lot of responsibility. I don't think people understand that. The point guard is the brain power of
it's
a
an
team.
extension of the coach.
Right.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Right.
But this whole new NBA, you never know nowadays, but keep going.
Right. And people don't understand that you're not only at point guard spot trying to score and ask for screens to score or drive and stuff. But you also not only got to score, but point guard, you got to make the right decisions, draw up your plays, be that brain of the team. You got to make sure the playmaking is right. Can't lose the ball. You got to control the ball. And while you're doing all of that, you still got to shoot good, still shoot efficient. So it's not like you're the 2 spot or a 3rd spot. You know what you got to do in your job. But point guard, you got to do a lot more because that is the brain power. I'm not saying the point guard got the hardest job, but they are the brain power of the team because you.
Oh, that's the hardest job. That's the hardest job.
Hey, I feel you. I feel like the
quarterback.
Listen, I'm a little biased.
Good
Listen, let me say this. I'm a little biased because I played the 3 and the 4, and I'm a little biased.
Yeah, but I mean, being biased and being factual.
I feel like the big boy. I feel like the big dogs do the most work. But I get it. I understand. I true right. It's the hardest
That's the
job.
quarterback. He's the quarterback.
Yeah, I respect that. Right, I respect it. So. It like you said, he's the quarterback of the team, the brain power of the team. And then while you're trying to be the brain power of the team, you still got to score. You still got to manage. You know what I'm saying? You still got to do your thing. You still got to drop 34 points because if you don't drop them points, there ain't no people going to be in your head. So, I'm more proud than impressed.
Let me ask y'all
Yeah.
a question. Let me ask you a quick question. Watching Jello run the point, was he running a traditional point, or was it more so he rebounding, throw the ball down court, he come down court, give it up to the first person you see open? Like, was he truly playing the point guard position, or was he just playing the role of the ball handler?
I will answer that. I think it could be a combination of both, but the type of offense and sets that they was running, or no sets that they was running, then it called for just moving the ball up and down the court, and it looks like it was a track meet, and they happened to lose that track meet in the end. So it all boils down to attrition. Maybe if a team slows BBB down, maybe we could see Liangelo play a traditional point guard role, and we can basically see the type of real decision makings that he make in a half court setting when the game is slowed down and things of that nature. So he can have his reads and pick and rolls and drops and pin downs, moving the ball to the opposite end, maybe for one in, four out, or whatever type of set that they might happen to run, because they do have an actual coach. We know Lavar is like a coach, but Lavar just like up and down with it. You know what I mean? Like but they have I think Charles O'Bannon. I think they have Charles O'Bannon over there that coached the second game where he was not there the first game, and we all know that he was he was a nice collegiate player, playing alongside of his brother, winning the national championship for the UCLA Bruins. We might see that. I don't know, because I don't have no intel. But when you look at the interview of Bone Collector, he talked about running those type of sets and how Jello skill set fits in and what Jello is working on within that half court setting, because we all know it's not going to be an up and down night in and night out, game to game. So I just think that right now they just is running up and down the court to get people in shape, because like you said, I remember him telling me that they don't practice. I remember Lavar telling me they don't practice. You know what I'm saying? They see each other at the game. That's where they see each other, at the game, because a lot of people live distance from each other and things of that nature. So that could be it the first couple of games, and maybe we might see some half court running sets and things of that nature. But like I said, I don't know for sure. I believe that Liangelo can operate an offense in a half set. Honestly, I believe he'll perform even better instead of trying to get the ball, throwing it down court and things of that nature, hoping that somebody catch it. Because a few times he threw some good passes and they went through their hands, and then a few times he misjudged their speed and he overthrew them or outthrew them and things of that nature. So I just believe they probably when he goes into that game, he probably say, okay, Liangelo, we're going to work on this. I don't think he's working on a combination of everything. I think they're being very precise and specific on the target that he works in from game in to game out. And then maybe by game 4, then we might see the totality of his weaponry all in full effect.
Yeah, good call, Dex. We got the legendary FYF sports debates. What's the
Thank
deal?
you. I don't even get a panel no more. I didn't know he about to dig.
Oh, my bad. What's good, FYF?
That's good.
I can't call it, man. I see you in the chat, man. What's your thoughts on the topic?
Shit like that.
And some of the things that you may have heard.
Hey, let me ask y'all a question.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Is it me or everybody?
To everybody.
Okay.
When does a basketball player learn and understand the game the most? When do they begin to get grasps on it? Do y'all believe it's in practice? Is it a game? Like, when is it on the bench watching?
I mean, it could be a combination of everything.
Growth.
It could be a combination of everything. But I mean, it's tough to call because everybody can have their argument. But I mean, maybe game action. I mean, you can't teach game speed. You understand? But anybody can have their own area that they feel is more that they need to emphasize. So I mean, that's a real tricky question. FYI.
I ain't shopping. He need to go overseas.
What you say?
I said iron sharpen iron. He need to go somewhere like overseas. Like everything he trying to develop, he ain't gonna develop that against weaker talent. If that's how y'all feel he is. If y'all feel like
Exactly.
he that dude, then he shouldn't be doing this against Drew League players.
There's one thing that I tell my players at GCU when the season starts. You know, the first thing I tell them to stop doing. I say, y'all need to stop playing pickup ball. There's a reason why I tell them to stop playing pickup ball, because when you play bad basketball, you develop so many bad habits that when you play real basketball and them bad habits start to kick in, because that's what you're used to doing, then you're going to look like some trash. This G League basketball, I understand that y'all appreciate it to a certain degree, and I do as well. But when you put it and compare it to pro basketball, organized basketball, it don't compare. It don't compare in the slightest. And he's picking up a ton of bad habits, right? When you watch Jello play.
What's these bad habits you saying? Can you be a little bit more specific?
So this is the bad habits that I picked up. So there was one play that I noticed would never happen in an organized game. And I saw Jello and I saw Vander Blue do it. These are probably the two best players on the floor in that last game. A turnover happened. And I watched both of them put their head down, get mad because the ball was turned over, and walk back as the other guy was scoring the layup. That's a habit. In an organized game, you can say...
That's a low blow, FYI.
No, it's not a low blow. In an organized game, you could say you wouldn't do it, but if you start making it a habit because that's the level of basketball you consistently playing, that's what you're going to do in a real game. And the coach will snatch you out the game faster than you can fucking blink in a real game. It's one thing to actually do it and practice it, but you have to practice how you play. You can't just say you're going to do it in a game. And so, to me, it's bad basketball. I feel like guys that are serious about getting to the NBA are not playing in the Drew League.
All right, hold on, wait a second. But what about, I don't mean to cut you off, because I'm happy that you're here and you said that, because it seems like, I think it's more the Drew League than you trying to attack Jello. You upset with the kind of level of competition. But what about LaMelo Ball? Because he took the Drew League when his stock wasn't as, global. It was always global. I mean, it just wasn't like how it is right now. He was overlooked a little bit at this point when he went to. What the hell was he doing there?
A lot of people play the Drew League.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people use the Drew League for a stepping stone. That's what it is. It's not nowhere where you sitting there to be there for 20 years. You understand?
No, well, what I'm asking you is,
also, I don't mean to cut you off, FYF.
Is the Drew?
Hold on, FYF. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. As the Drew League progresses, you will see more and more NBA talent on these rosters. Is all I'm going to tell you. Jello will face people that's in the NBA at some point during this Drew League time. I'm pretty sure of that. Somebody will play. I don't know who it is, but I mean, somebody will participate.
What I'm saying is playing one or two NBA players every now and then in the Drew League is not making him better. Hoping that an NBA player waltzes in and you might play against them, and these NBA players, when they play in the Drew League, they are going half speed. They're not playing full speed. What
league are they playing full speed, man?
The Drew League
in the summer.
The Drew League has never, if you taken a guy.
Ridiculous right now.
So,
ain't gonna count.
For example, okay, then you guys tell me the best Drew League player in Drew League history.
No, let me tell you this.
And he's not in the league.
What the fuck?
Forget all these riddles.
He didn't sniff the league.
Let me tell you this. Everywhere they have a pro-am league, if a professional player is in there, he's basically playing half speed. Right. Even Isaiah Thomas, he was in the Drew League. And from the Drew League, he got a contract to Charlotte Hornets. You remember that?
He didn't get a contract because of the Drew League.
Well, I'm just saying that was the last place he played.
He got a contract because he's Isaiah Thomas. And he's been in the NBA.
Okay, all right, okay.
And he has a resume.
If that's what you want to say,
okay,
he was out of the league.
So, Dex.
Wait, hold on, FYF.
Just tell me please. One guy without a resume that got to the NBA out of the Drew League.
I'm not going to tell you nothing because you spin it. You sound like Fox News right now. You spin it. The last place we saw Isaiah prior to going to the NBA was in the Drew League.
Okay.
That's where I'm coming from. Just like the last place we saw.
That's not true, actually, but we can go.
No,
he was in the Drew Crawford League. Pro-Am League in Washington. If you
no, really that was before. That was before. When that league was over, he came down to the Drew League partner.
Oh, that league is all year round.
Well, he came to the Drew League, and when he came to the Drew League, after that, he got called up to Charlotte
Okay,
Hornets.
so look, my question is this.
So don't spin it.
Tell me a player. I'm not spinning it. Tell me a player with no NBA resume, because obviously Isaiah Thomas has NBA jacket on him already. He was in the league. He was just trying to work his way back. Tell me a guy that doesn't have an NBA jacket that used the Drew League to get an NBA contract.
That I don't know. You
Shout
probably
out
have to
my
ask
man TRB, Troublemaker. Pardon me. Shout
No,
out Troublemaker
IT got a
Network.
contract because of his NBA jacket.
That's my guy. Yo, you need to come check me on that P5 too. I'm cleaning
Hey,
up everybody right now. I'm telling you.
Ain't none
I'm
of them
packing people up right now on Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, wherever.
Okay.
It's Flight Sports.
All I'm gonna say is I can see why you can bring up the reasons why Drew League is not the greatest development spot. But only
ain't no pro-am league is the greatest development spot.
Here's what I'm saying. I'm saying that, but you can't throw it down because there's so many people that did the Drew League. We got guys like James Harden. We had guys, you know what I'm saying? We got guys.
It's a list that goes on, Ray. You will never name them all. You never name them all.
I can't. There's no way.
They go because it's trendy. They don't really go there to compete and win.
Why you got all the answers, FYF? That's amazing. You got to be the most wealthiest man in the world.
FYF, you don't have all the answers.
That's really amazing right there.
Look, you
got an answer to everything.
Bro,
okay.
I don't.
Except probably some of the most important things.
Okay, but you haven't gave me an answer. What NBA players use the G League to get to the league that don't have an NBA jacket?
Listen, because maybe I don't know. That don't mean it never happened. What?
It don't exist.
How could you say that, God?
Okay, so do you tell me give me one NBA player without an NBA jacket?
Didn't I just say I don't know?
No, it hasn't happened.
Listen,
there is none.
Listen, let me tell you this. Hold on.
Okay,
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Hold on, everybody. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna say something that FYF would never say. FYF, I don't know.
No, give me one. Just Google it.
Well, why does that hurt?
It takes 2 seconds to Google. Somebody Google it.
Hold on a second. FYF, ask me the question one more time because I
asked you. I said, tell me one player without an NBA jacket, which means you ain't been in the league before.
Right.
That's you.
You slightly broke up. I mean, I could piece together what you were saying.
Yeah, he basically said no NBA record, no NBA jacket, no NBA resume, played in the Drew League, and ended up going into the NBA.
To be honest,
just give me one.
Hold on, wait a second. No panic, because I mean, y'all sounded kind of crazy on Jello. I mean, Jello has had. Did he actually get on the NBA roster and play a game? No, but I mean, he's had some experience. He's practiced. You understand? He was with the Pistons. He spent some time with them. He practiced with them. He also spent time with the Oklahoma City Blue. It's the G League. You understand? An extension of the goddamn NBA. They're running the same plays as the goddamn team they're supposed to. You understand? So he also played obviously with the Hornets and the goddamn the
Swarm.
The Swarm. Yeah, and also Dex. It was me and you was talking personally. I'm giving a personal conversation between me and Dex. Dex was telling me actually yesterday when Liangelo Ball is playing and practicing with LaMelo Ball, do you not realize the man is practicing with a goddamn superstar, an all-star? Ladies and gentlemen, forget about this, my brother. The man is practicing with a rising phenom, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we got to put shit into perspective, y'all.
And I'm trying to look it up, and they don't have a specific. I'm so far.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Rave, don't do that. That's a riddle.
You won't find any. There is none.
FYF, I won't say there is none. So you should be quiet on that because you don't know.
It isn't. It doesn't. Go
you don't, but you don't know that for certain though.
It doesn't.
Because what we have to do, you have to ask somebody that's really in tune with the Drew League. They probably give you a rundown of players that might have brace the NBA at some point in time.
Right now. Hold up. And somebody said it's the other thing.
So I don't know.
Hall of Fame,
unlike y'all know everything. I don't know that.
Before y'all disperse me, I know, I'm sure there's information somewhere that somebody came out of the Drew League, okay? I was just going to say that to the whole point of this is you're saying that like this is a big thing. I got names right here that has graced this floor. Kobe Bryant has graced this floor. LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Paul Pierce, Trevor Ariza, Nick Young, JaVale McGee, Brandon Jennings, DeMar DeRozan, Paul George, Metta World Peace, John Wall, J.R. Smith, and more to go on has graced the Drew League floor. I'm not.
What I got to do with Jello?
I'm not trying to argue down on so many things because, like I said, it is a Drew League. It's not like it's the NBA. But at the same time, it's floor that's been graced by legends and ball players. You sound like this is some little
Trae Young. Don't forget Trae Young.
Which type of point are you trying to
Trae
make?
Young just left the Drew League 2 years ago.
What point are you trying to make on
I can tell you the point. I can tell you the point.
Let me say
Really?
this.
It ain't no point. Your point is mute.
The point is that the G League is started to become
Drew League, not the G League.
The Drew League has become basically that wish list for players to do because the nostalgia behind it.
Most
and the
pro-am is like that, though.
Hold on 1 second. When you talk about Rucker Park, a lot of NBA players go down and play at Rucker Park because of the nostalgia. Guys are not going to Rucker Park to try to get an NBA contract.
But Rucker Park is pure entertainment. It's not real basketball. You know that.
The Drew League is true. The Drew League is too. It's pure
People
entertainment.
roll on the ground with the ball in their hand.
No,
Ain't
Rucker
no
Park,
travel.
they
You
play real
can't do that.
basketball, bro. They play real basketball at Rucker Park, bro. You've been watching too much of that. You've been watching too much.
And some of that.
It's
Listen,
not
no, I done
basketball.
seen Rutgers Park. Trust me, I done seen Rutgers Park.
Bro, Rucker
And
Park,
I remember
they
at one
beat, man.
point. Hold on, man. I remember at one point BET was showing Rucker Park's games, and it was a lot of showboating.
And
The announcer is in the middle of the
went to
floor.
Rucker Park.
That because
So did Vince Carter. What that mean?
Okay,
So
but
did Gilbert Arenas.
So that's what
I'm
exactly
not
what
saying
I'm
they
saying.
don't have real hoopers there.
That's exactly
Unlike
what I'm
what
saying.
you saying.
Exactly what I'm saying is just because a few NBA players grace the Drew League don't mean it's the league you go through to get to the NBA.
Okay, so what do you want Jello to do?
I didn't say that. Who said that?
No, I
Wait a
wasn't
minute.
talking
Hold
to
on.
you, Dex.
Hold
I
on.
wasn't
Hold
even
on,
talking
everybody
to you,
that plays
Dex.
for
I was
City.
talking to Rays.
Who said that?
I was talking to
That
Rays.
the Drew League was the gateway to the
I was
NBA.
talking to Rays.
We all know that's college. That's the NCAA.
But I was
It's the
talking to
gateway.
Ray because he ran off the name of NBA players that been in the Drew League.
He ran off some.
It wasn't
He
even
ran
a
off all
response
of
to
them.
you. You just jumped into that, diving in a topic that had nothing to do with it.
Because you give out half truths.
What
You're
was
really
half
good
about
at it.
What was half at? What was half?
Because the same thing you say about Rutgers Park, a lot of NBA players go there and they play real basketball. You can say the
I
same
was
thing about the Drew
responding
League.
to Rave. That had nothing to do with you.
What? Okay.
That wasn't a response to anything you said. It had nothing to do with anything you said. It had something to do with everything to do with what Rave said.
But what Rave said was he listed a numerous amount of NBA players that played in the Drew League. And you can do that in a lot of pro-am leagues.
Exactly.
This is where the players go and get their, conditioning.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But then why will you not one?
Exactly. Because
So why
guys
would you
that are
not
seeking NBA contracts are not in America right now.
Why would you knock one league and not say this is basically the landscape of everybody that's
I'm not
trying
knocking
to
the league,
get
bro.
into?
I'm just telling you what it is.
But
It is what
nobody's
it is,
disputing
bro.
that.
Remember
I'm not,
Nobody's
I'm
saying
not
they want
knocking
you
it.
to
I
Drew
love
League.
watching it,
with
bro.
the bodyguard.
Y'all act like I'm shitting on the league. I love watching Drew League basketball. I love watching it, but it is what it is. It's just like AAU basketball. AAU basketball now is not looked at.
Well, listen.
It's not
That's
looked
regardless
at
of the
as
point. I'm not
reliable
looking at the negative. Only thing I'm saying is that it's a lot of exposure, a lot of money's being made, and they're doing fine
That
for the
has
community.
nothing to do with getting
And
to
that's
the
the
NBA.
community that I visit and have resided in. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm cool with it. I know a lot of you cats
I'm
are some from the
cool with it
boondocks and
too.
everything else, and LA is just not something
Bro,
that
you
you
getting
might want to
emotional about
parade.
something that nobody talking about.
But this is what's going on in my community, and I'm proud of
But
it.
ain't
but the
nobody
community
emotional
and
about
the
it. You getting
people that
emotional
play for
about
the
it like
league
I'm
are
shitting
You
on the
could you
league.
could call it whatever you want to call it, but I'm just telling you how I feel about it.
I'm
That
just
ain't got nothing
saying
to do with
it's
what y'all
not a
talking about,
gateway to the
Jello.
NBA.
But
And it's
I
not.
don't recall anybody saying that. I don't even think that's in their own
Okay,
personal
so
bio.
I'm saying, all I'm saying, and what I've been saying this whole time is, look, respect to him for playing in the Drew League. But if you telling me and you telling the world that you serious about getting in the NBA, playing in the Drew League shows everybody the opposite.
All right, FYF. You got my undivided attention now.
I don't know why he's trying to
FYF.
push Liangelo overseas. He don't have to go overseas. He's already got footage in
Yeah.
NBA type atmosphere.
Why you pushing that narrative like he ain't been there and done that? I thought
Bro,
we
he went
over that.
to play for LKL and only
Okay.
averaged 14 a game and looked bad, got
No,
bad.
hold on. Wait a minute.
He didn't look very good.
Wait a
No, he
minute.
didn't.
Wait a minute. Stop it.
No, he didn't.
Where you getting these
Yeah,
narratives
bro,
from?
that's just hating.
Come on, fake news.
First, just giving good information. Now you just hating.
Yeah, come on. Now you're giving out
Well, I
false
don't know
news.
about, I don't know where he
Go
looked
back to your
bad at.
files.
He bugging.
But listen, that's neither here nor there. We ain't gonna even dawn on that.
No,
You know what I'm
that's hate
saying?
talk.
Because
That's hate talk.
he's taking.
Don't
Listen, hold on. We're not gonna let him hijack the narrative because that's what he wants to do. We're not gonna let him do it. You know what I'm saying? So FYF, you got to go in the corner and you got to put on a hat that says dunce for 10 minutes. It's only a 10-minute timeout, FYF, because we're not gonna let you hijack the narrative. What we're watching, like I said before. Well, the narrative is that we're actually witnessing Liangelo Ball turning into something different from what we're accustomed to.
Right.
And he have the nerve, he have the wit, and he have the courage to do it right here with social media at an all-time high, on caffeine, in the Drew League, where all can see whether you criticize him positively or you criticize him negatively. It doesn't matter. He's out there so we can actually witness what it's like for a player of his ilk to actually transform his game in front of the whole world with constant eyes on him, dissecting his every movement
What is he
on that basketball
bro?
court.
Oh, well, listen, FYF, this is what I want to go with you, man. We're talking about Liangelo Ball from the point guard position. It's to the level of competition that's going on with the Drew League for 1 second. Forget about all of this other shit you're talking about. Did Liangelo Ball improve at the point guard position? The first game, hear me out here, Liangelo put up 13 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds. And his second game, I don't have it right in front of me, but I believe he had 27 points, and he had 12 assists and 5 rebounds. Wasn't that an improvement at the point guard position? You know,
he didn't improve, man.
I mean, why would you say that? I mean, I don't think you've seen the first game. You didn't.
I watched both games. I got the caffeine app. I watched them
the
both.
First game wasn't on. I know you didn't see the first game.
I watched the first game. I watched footage on it on Facebook. The second game, I watched it on the caffeine app. From what I saw, there's if I'm looking for a point guard.
No, listen, that's not the question.
What are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Did he improve? No.
From the first game to the second game.
The only thing that happens, the only difference between the first game and the second is he played a worse team.
Oh my goodness!
And he had more turnovers.
So hold on, wait a second.
I tell you, dog. I tell you.
So you telling me that this guy did not improve? You understand?
No, hold on. But okay, so when you asking me, a guy that looks at basketball a little bit differently, as a point guard, with the things that I'm looking at in a point guard, did I see any improvement? No. Did I see a whole bunch of negatives? Yes. And the thing is, this is not the forum to be trying to display a guy that's trying to develop into a point guard.
I mean, you looking at him from a fully perfected point guard, looking at him like a Steve Nash.
He's not a point guard.
Yeah. You trying to
LaVar made an emphasis saying that he was going to put him at point. He's going to try to run him at point. It did not.
We ain't trying shit. We doing it.
It don't look good.
He's displaying talents. Do we know?
Let me share this right here. We're looking at an unfinished product, and I think that we're being very harsh in our criticism and judgment on an unfinished product that's still in its evolution stage. Because we know that Liangelo come in as unformed putty. We know Liangelo Ball is coming in as unproven. I'm talking about point guardish. We know Liangelo Ball is coming in with a lot of rough edges. He is not smooth. He is not polished. He is an unproven commodity, but he's in transition. Right now, like I keep saying, we're looking at a caterpillar in a cocoon going through a metamorphosis. Because Liangelo, if he just wanted to be that dude, all he would do was just let me do what I do best, and that's the sharpshooter. Let me hone in on that skill.
And that's what get him. That's what will get him to the NBA.
But he already have that. He already have that. That's what we saying. He got that already.
No, he can't improve that.
He's adding to his repertoire.
You better than this.
No,
He's
bro.
adding to it.
He gets to the league by doing what he does best. He's not going to get to the
We
league
know
trying
that.
to
What are you trying
transition
to?
into
What are
a
you trying
point
to
guard.
say? We know
It's
that.
nothing wrong. Listen,
Why are you
every
telling us
player.
that?
Listen, I remember. I
man.
remember Kobe. Listen, hold on. I remember Kobe, Jelly Bean Bryant, Mama Mentality, saying that every NBA player should desire to add something to his game in the offseason. So when he comes back that next season, he has something more and
Right,
something they're
Key word,
unfamiliar with.
NBA player.
bro.
Oh man.
Listen, he said NBA player, but it really goes for any player that play basketball. FYI, you sound like you finna lose your job coaching, bro, talking like that.
I swear. Oh,
You need to
what?
slow down because you sound like a real bona fide hater.
He said
Every
I'm a
NBA,
hater.
every NBA player
So I
should add
gotta,
something to
I
his
gotta
game.
kiss his ass to be, and if I don't, I'm
No, it's
labeled a
not
hater.
about. Come on, FYF, you know it ain't about
I
that.
gotta agree with y'all,
Stop
and
No,
if
being
I
so
don't, I'm a hater.
extreme.
Oh yeah, you.
It don't have nothing to do with kissing ass. Listen,
If I gotta
everybody,
agree that the
hold
G
on.
League is gonna get
Everybody
him to
know
the
on Flight
NBA,
Sports
or I'm a hater.
TV there ain't no kissing no ass. So you need to stop that foolishness.
Yeah,
It's
fake
nobody
ass.
kiss nobody ass. We argue with Flight argue with us.
Facts.
We argue with the panel. The chat argue with the chat. Ain't no sickle fence here. We ain't no layovers.
Alright, that fake ass.
We get at you if we feel that we're right, and we do it passionately. So don't come here with that foolishness, FYF. You know it ain't no
I
kissing
just
ass
asked
over
you a
here.
question.
You and
Oh,
Coffee just
FYF,
went
bro.
head to head.
No, that
How
wasn't
could
no
you
head
say
to
that?
head.
You funny, dog. You funny.
No,
Dude,
but
you sounding ridiculous right now.
Bro,
I
ain't
didn't even
nobody
say
fucking.
anything.
Everybody know in Flight Sports TV, there's no type of monarchy where he's just sitting on the throne and everybody agreeing with him. Yes, sir, Flight. Yes, sir, Flight. Oh, Flight, you're cooking. Oh my God, Flight. That's what I'm talking about, Flight. Flight. Man,
Right.
Flight say something crazy, we on his ass too.
Right.
And he's accepting to that. So I don't know where you get this sycophant kissing ass henchman type stuff.
But what you want me to say? Do you want me to just be
I
like,
want
this is
his
all,
numbers
it's all
numbers
peaches and
improved.
cream? He's gonna get to the league doing it this way? That's what you want
That's
me
No,
to
not
say?
the question I asked you,
Hold
FYI.
on. No, but FYF. You just
What is
said
y'all
it. You
end
just
goal
said
for
it. You just
Jello?
said
Where
it
do y'all want to
yourself.
see him? Do y'all want to
Oh,
see
You
him
just
man.
said
be
FYF.
a
You
rec
just said
league
it,
player
bro.
for the rest of his
FYF.
life, or you really want to see him
Oh
get to the
Lord.
league?
Bro, FYF. You just said
You
it.
telling me the G League is a rec league?
Hold
Hey,
on.
listen,
Hold
G
on.
League ain't too
Hold on.
far from it.
FYF, you just said it. You just said it yourself.
That
He
21
needs,
that
he
would
needs to
have
do
be
what he
having.
does best to go in the NBA. You don't think we know he has to show off his sniper his strengths? We know that. He went to the Drew League to start working on things that he can also work on that's not just his greatest strengths. That's why he
Right.
said you're going to play point guard to show these guys, can you at least dribble the ball a little bit? Can you try not to lose the ball? Can you actually make a play? Can you pass the ball leading into a score? Can you actually show brain power and IQ on the floor? Not just show that you can only shoot threes. Duh. That's why we're
So Ray, if I asked you,
bro, we
if I
know he
asked
can
you to
shoot
do a
off,
video, if
bro,
I
listen
asked
to
you to
me, bro.
do,
Hold on. It's like, hold on. Before you cut me off.
if I asked you to do a play-by-play breakdown of his best, highest IQ plays
Hey, you're cutting me off. Hold on.
against the Blazers, you can do it.
You can go at me. I wasn't finished.
I'm not going at you.
JJ Redick shows that off the strength, all you gotta do is pop some fucking threes, and he's in the NBA.
Rave
If
could
all you
do
think
that.
JJ
Rave
Redick
could
did
do
was
it.
just shoot threes, then you out of your mind.
What?
That's not all he did.
Tell me in the NBA something other
That's
than
not all
threes.
he did. And if you watch his game, so if
We're
you
gonna
look at
say
his
running
game,
off
how he talked on,
screens.
if you look at how he talked on offense, the pin downs that he would set for other players, his movement without the ball, right? The speed that he would move, the ability to gather his
move
feet,
off the ball.
No,
right?
I'm not
He
gonna
was one of the
discredit
What is
best
he
JJ
doing,
post.
Redick.
bro? Come on
He
now.
was
What
one
is
of
he
the
doing,
best
bro?
post entry passers
Moving
in the
off the
league.
ball, really? That's what we doing? Moving off the ball. Sure. Anybody can do
That's
that.
part of the game.
I'm
Are you
asking
saying
what
that
is he
don't
doing?
matter?
Bro,
That
y'all
part of the
funny.
game. If you don't think
You
that
see,
matters,
come on,
you don't
You
know
know
we
what he
switching the
sound like right
argument,
now?
man.
Hey,
We
Ray,
switching.
this is
Y'all
what
some
FYF
liars,
sound like right
man.
now, Ray. FYF sound like Coach Riley, right?
Yeah.
Coach Riley on the Philadelphia Eagles when he said that Cody, whatever his name was, the little racist white boy, deserved his contract because he blocks well, the wide receiver.
That have nothing to do with this.
Bro, this dude,
That's what you sound like.
That got to be
FY,
the
you
worst
literally talk
connection
about
I've
some
ever
damn
heard.
dude.
He sound just like that. He
That
sound
don't got
just like
nothing to
that.
do with it.
We're going to give him extension because he's a wide receiver and he blocks very well. He's one of the best blocking wide receivers in the league. Like, really?
Man, what does he do other than shoot threes?
But
Man, he
what
can
I'm
move
saying
the
is,
He
Guys,
to the right.
can I
He keeps his
interject on
towel
this
to the side.
conversation a second?
Face ass nigga, you goofy.
Shout out to Marvin Perspective.
Goofy.
What's going on, guys? Can I interject on this conversation for a second, guys?
That man funny, dog. I like him.
I just want to say, guys, I think we've been a little harsh on both sides. No, let me finish, Rave. What I'm saying is this. I got a question for the yaysayers and the naysayers. Now, I ain't watched neither one of the games. I'm just listening to the conversation, but I'm seeing kind of, it's kind of going back and forth, in a sense like maybe one person's not seeing enough. This whole thing is based on what? Getting him involved in the NBA, correct? Right?
No, showcase his talent.
I mean, it's the showcase to get him in the NBA, correct?
Yeah, that's the goal, yes.
Yeah, I guess the goal, yeah.
Okay, a question to the yayers. In the short sample size that you guys have seen, if you being a scout for the NBA, would you consider joining your team so far?
Yeah.
No, look who you asking now.
I'm just asking a question. I haven't watched the last few
He's
games.
asking everybody, no panic. He's asking everybody. You can even chime in.
I say yes, Marvin.
No. Okay, because I did just look at his stats, and I looked at his stats in the first game, and then I did look at those stats in the second game. Now, no panic. I do want to say this: if you think progress is not going up to 27 points and 12 rebounds, then I don't know what progress we look. Now, I know you can say against lesser competition.
No, hold on.
12 assists, not rebounds. 12 assists.
I mean, hold on. I'm gonna let you speak. I'm just gonna say one more thing. But then you do want to look at the 12 turnovers. But you can look at those in two different ways also.
10 turnovers.
Or 10 turnovers. You can look at that. Okay, were a lot of the passes just mishandles, or were they bad passes? Were they bad?
It was both. It was a combination of both.
Were they bad decisions?
Some bad decisions, and bad passes.
Okay. Now, the difference is, I think I heard that he's been playing the full game on both of these games. He hadn't had a minute.
No sub. Yes.
Now, that makes a difference also, guys. It really does. Now, as far as it being judged to go to the NBA against lesser competition, here's a question I'm pretty sure you all can answer. How many NBA scouts are at these games? Do they judge these games on being able to look to see if this is going to bring enough, in my eyes, to bring him to my organization? And if not, then it doesn't hurt him, but it's not gonna advance his progress either. But it doesn't hurt him.
Marvin, let me tell you this right here. Let me tell you something right here. This is not no capriciousness of LeVar Ball. This wasn't on no whimsical comedy to try to get Jello to see to play point guard. This was something that was introduced to him by important people in the NBA. Could he?
Okay.
And he said yes. Okay, yeah. Let's see.
Okay. Well,
you understand what I'm saying?
And that's what I'm getting to about scouts asking what
but these dudes are just bumping their gums because they don't know. You understand what I'm saying?
And it's a small sample size too, guys.
But Marvin, also you gotta remember now. I don't know how soon you came to the stream, but we already admitted that Jello is an unfinished product. He's not polished. He's rough around the edges when it comes to playing point guard. This is a somewhat new or renewal of him playing this position, because at one point, what was explained to me that when Lonzo went off to high school, then Liangelo started playing point guard for the AAU team. You feel me? But when he joined Lonzo in high school, it was no need for him to rekindle that skill because Lonzo had that on lock. You feel me?
Yeah, so, and I'm just stressing the fact that
now he's starting to have muscle memory on playing the position, but yes, he's going to be a little off kilted because like FYF said, the speed and a lot of adaptation that he has to adjust to mentally as well as physically. You follow what I'm saying? Making pinpoint decisions, snap decisions, holding back, controlling the tempo, watching to see who's tired, who's not, make sure he don't put his players in bad situations where they get offensive foul. It's a whole lot that to run the gamut to being a point guard, and this is something that he have to reacclimate himself to. But the thing that I'm saying is that for FYF to be a basketball mind that I know he is, his judgment is very out of character when it comes to Liangelo Ball playing point guard in the Drew League, when we all know that Liangelo Ball is not known for his point guard skill set, but for his sharpshooting skill set. He only adding to it. And by him adding to it, we're witnessing this in real time. We witness this transition, how he's going to amalgamate playing point guard and being a sharpshooter together to perform one hell of an NBA talent. We actually witness this in real time, where a lot of players won't give you this in real time because some players are embarrassed or ashamed for people to actually see their flaws being exhibit in front of the whole world. And this is why I give Liangelo so much credit in that black fist. You follow what I'm saying? For the simple fact is that he's doing it in front of the whole world, and he's accepting the criticism as well as the praise.
And that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying.
These dudes
that's what I was saying.
Thank you, Dex. Like, we know
there's nothing wrong with getting out trying to show your talent. That's obvious. You know that, guy. I mean, that's what no player has never been seen and just was joining an NBA team. Scouts watched them and they determined if they were ready. So it's definitely nothing wrong with him playing. Now, as far as him saying that, the progress or whatnot, because you can be judging this on lesser talent. And you don't necessarily, but he's already been in the G League and he's been close to the NBA. So it's not the point of the case that he's digressing. I think this is just a showcase to show more skills that he has. Now, this is what I want to say. If you look at the first game and you look at his stats, and everything is not on stats, and you can judge that on your opponent also. But if you look at the stats and you look at the game 2, he definitely progressed. Now. But this, okay, yes. I mean, you want to clean up all of this. He cleaned up his scoring. He cleaned up a little more on the assists. Now you need to clean up on his turnovers. Let's see what game 3 is. Let's see what game 4 is. It's a progress thing, and I'm not saying.
Hold on,
he was responding to you from earlier, from Marvel, whatever. At the end of the day, when I first got on the panel, Flight asked me. He said, "Why you think about Jello progress?" I say no comment because I don't come up here and say the same thing. And I realize if I say anything negative, even if it's true about somebody in the Ball family, or especially Jello, it's going to get met with just disturbance. That's one.
Stop with that narrative, bro.
Hold on.
Stop with that fucking narrative, bro.
That's only a narrative when you. That's only
You're lying, bro. You're lying.
It's only a narrative because you understand it's about you.
Stop that narrative, bro. Stop that narrative, bro.
The argument ain't about
Dex, bro. That we all just said it. Dex just said it, bro. I don't hear that, bro.
You keep trying to overtalk me,
bro. Because you do this,
bro. I'm not always doing nothing.
You can express your opinions. Flight asked you.
Listen, don't let this get too personal now.
Wait. I'm not. Hold up. I'm not doing personal. Hold up. I'm not doing personal. Flight, bro.
You can't.
That's not even what Flight asked. Hold up.
Everybody respects me.
I'm not asking personal. Flight asked this guy. Hold up, bro. Listen to me, bro. Hold up. The man Flight just said, I swear to God, Panic comes in the room.
You don't gotta say swear to God.
Flight said, bro. Hold up, Panic. Flight said, yo, how do you feel about the G League, man? How you feel about Jello's game, man? He said, I don't want to say anything because he was about to full-on fledged say something super negative really quick instead of just talking about it in general. You can say anything about your opinion, but come on, man.
It just can't be negative.
You can't express your
opinion. It just can't be negative, right?
You're capping, bro.
No, Rib, you just catch yourself.
You can. You're lying.
You just said I was about to say something super negative. So is it that I can't say nothing negative
because
about
off the bat,
I gotta say what you
because you said, bro, because literally, Flight, even after Flight asked a question, you said you want to say anything.
But Rib,
hold up.
Can I talk now?
Okay. Panic. I literally Flight, even because I'm on your ass. Even after you said,
bro, you're not on nobody's ass right now.
Okay, hold on. After Flight asked you, do you want to say anything about the game? Then you said, nah, I'm good. I don't want to say anything. Flight was like, well, shit, when you want to say something good, you want to even say something good. Something's wrong with you, my guy. You got hater in you.
Hey, if anybody got time,
you got hater in you, dog.
If anybody got time,
you can't say either negative or good. Say
okay, Ray, you done? You done, Ray? You done?
Bro, come on.
Are you done?
You can definitely say
Are
something.
You done? Are you done? Are you done? That's all I need to ask.
Come on, man.
Are you done?
You capping.
Okay, but are you done?
I'm done. You capping.
Okay, cool. Flight said, what did I think about the progression of about.
No, he didn't. That's not what he said.
Bro, listen. He asked me about Jello specifically. I said no comment. Somebody sitting next to me right now. I said before you even say my name, I said I'm not even gonna comment on Jello. I'm gonna just be quiet. That's when I get on the panel. I've been quiet because anytime I say something negative, whether you agree with it or not, it always turns into somebody be calling me a hater. That's
So
why
you can't say anything good either.
No, hold up. Is it because I saying something negative?
So you can't say something good?
Yeah. So I can't say something negative.
So you can't say something good,
bro. I say something good all the time, but I get overlooked by little small things I say about anybody.
Bro, you lying. Everybody, you're
bro.
Listen, you're lying. Everybody expresses their opinion.
Only you think that, and you love to say because everybody. Stop looking for approval.
I didn't say everybody. I didn't say no everybody. I didn't say everybody.
Man, listen,
I didn't say nobody.
If anybody
I said only reason I said everybody. I said everybody that come. No. I didn't say everybody. I'm not looking for approval.
Every night
I'm not looking for approval.
You don't notice.
I'm not looking for approval. No. When I said sir, when I said everybody, I was not looking for approval. I said everybody that comes on here on Fox Sports TV can express their opinions. I'm going to try to.
But okay, Ray, that's cool. But I'm going to tell you right now why that's a lie out of your mouth.
No, why are you lying? Saying you can't express your opinion. You're lying.
All what you done.
God, bad for business.
So when somebody says something, if somebody asks me, what do you think about Lonzo Ball game? I'll say all the positives, and y'all say, oh, Panic talking right today. The second I say a deficiency in his game, it's, oh, you don't know basketball. You don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you a hater. You being facetious. That's what happens every time on this panel. Nobody's
that is lying.
Okay, I'm gonna stop saying that.
That's just how you feel.
I'm gonna get to my real point. The argument is not about the progression of Jello Ball at this point. The argument that's being had is the level of competition around him added to the level of players around him. How is this helping him get to the NBA? Y'all saying, oh, yeah, plenty of players. There's never been a player that got into the NBA without no NBA jacket. When y'all talk about IT had to show teams that he been healthy. That's the only reason why he didn't win inside the pro-am. So when y'all talk
Jello didn't have to show anybody that he was healthy.
Let's hold on. Like when FYF asked the question, name a player that got into the NBA got to the NBA from the Drew League without a jacket.
Listen, wait a minute. No. Listen.
There's nobody. The best player.
Wait, you need to read my IG, dog.
Yeah. With all due respect, this guy, Liangelo Ball is not getting his ticket through the goddamn Drew League. You know. That's just a league that he's playing in right now. Jello was in the G League. You understand? We can, like I said, there's a lot of idiocy going on here.
No, let me ask you a question, Flight. This is an honest question. This is an honest question.
What's the question?
The G League MVP last year was a shooting guard. And I'm sure you probably don't know him or you probably haven't followed him. I don't expect anybody to. But the G League MVP was a shooting guard. If you are an NBA team and you had to pick them blind based off resume, because your resume has a lot to do with
that's why it's 30 NBA teams.
Hold on. I'm just asking you a question. I'm just saying.
I'm answering it before you. I'm just asking you a question.
My question is, if you had to select between
the G League MVP, before you answer it. It's 30 NBA teams.
If you had to select between the G League MVP and Liangelo Ball, who you picking for your NBA roster?
Well, that's why it's 30 NBA teams. I'm picking Jello. I'm just saying, but it's 30 NBA teams.
Bro, FYF.
That's why we ain't got no teams.
FYF and Panic, bro. Why are y'all saying like we're coming on this panel?
I'm a few steps ahead, but
hold on. But what I'm trying to tell you, it has more to do with building the resume as opposed to the actual talent.
FYF, you're trying to give us a persuasion on why.
No, Rave, stop telling me what I'm trying to do because you don't understand the angle. The angle is not about the talent. Rave, just stop.
How you gonna tell me what I
Rave, you trying to tell me what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell you. I never came in here and spoke on his talent. I never come in here and say he's trash. I never do that. It's not about.
I'm not arguing with you with that.
At this stage, Rave, you got to stop talking for 1 second and listen, bro.
Okay, bro.
It's not about his talent. It's not about can he shoot. It's not about can he pass or dribble. We know that. We know that there's a ton of players in the United States that could potentially play in the NBA, but are not in the league. And the reason why they're not in the league is because you have to play the politics to a certain degree to get there. And that's by building a resume. You don't get to the league by playing in the Drew League. You're wasting time. And just like the brother who was just talking earlier, what did he say? He says this is not hurting him to play in the Drew League, but it's not helping him either. And whenever
I
he's
don't
wasting
understand
time,
You're saying something.
whenever he's wasting time, not progressing, he's getting passed up.
We're not.
It's a new draft class coming in. It's a whole new set of rookies and international players coming in that will pass him up.
Okay, that's why
Vander Blue was a G League MVP. Y'all know this, right?
FYF.
But he's a forgotten player now because he got passed up.
FYF. This is why I was trying to debunk you. I'm not saying I really all stuff that you have said. I'm not even having an issue with because you guys don't understand. We don't care about too much of what he does right now. This is just that we're not saying. Here's Jello in the Drew League. Now, NBA, look at the Drew League. We want you to go pick you up on team because of what he's doing in Drew League. That's not what we're doing. That's not the objective or the goal. That's not the goal. Now, the goal is to get to the NBA. That's true. But it's not because, hey, prospects, NBA scouts, franchises, wherever the owners, come look at Jello in the Drew League and pick him up because of his Drew League stuff. No, that's not. This is why you guys keep misunderstanding what we're doing here with Jello and the Drew League. We're saying a lot of guys said he only shoots the three. Some people always talked about show his strengths. So we said, okay, let's go just put Jello in an uncomfortable position and take him from his natural spot and move him to a number one where he can show people like he can use his brain, he can actually pass and whatever things that he's going to show. He's just showing him being how can he expand his game and show value other than he can just shoot the three ball.
Right.
All right, bro. So why you keep?
Rave, I'm gonna give you an example. Rave, I'm gonna give you an example. I literally watched Aaron Gordon for the Denver Nuggets go into a pro-am league and run point. That don't help him at his point guard skills when he's doing it against inferior competition. It don't mean he will translate to the NBA either.
Right. No one's saying we want him to go from the Drew League. He already been the
Listen,
G League.
listen.
You just
man.
missed the whole point.
I'm really listen. This right here is just getting really, really dumbfounded because we keep retreading over our own throw up. I just laid out a beautiful expose of the narrative that we're looking at an unfinished product. What part of unfinished or product that you guys don't understand? Because you don't expect a baby to come fresh out of the womb and start running. It got a process of development. You got stages, you got step, stages, and degrees of development. So if Liangelo is that,
wait a minute. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
So if Liangelo is that baby playing point guard and trying to rekindle those skills, then we have to allow him to develop in those three process: step, stages, and degrees. You can't expect Liangelo to come out and just be this super point guard, regardless if the quality of basketball is inferior. If that's what you believe,
I never said he needs to be a point guard. He needs to be a shooting guard.
No, see now, listen. Come on, listen. Make up your mind. You gonna criticize him as a point guard, or you gonna praise him as a shooting guard?
I criticize him as a point guard because he's not a point guard. He's a shooting guard.
We know he's not a point guard.
And this is what I'm saying is that he is transitioning into something that will add to his
So you're telling
already
me he's
skill
not
set.
NBA ready right now then?
All right, wait a minute.
No, bro, ain't nobody.
Everybody, hold on a second. We got. Hold on, wait a
everybody.
second. Ray, we got Ball Facts in the building. What's the deal, Ball Facts? Talk to the people. We live.
Was good, man.
You hear this?
I heard a little bit of it. I seen you was live. I seen Jello's picture on there. Then I heard Rave and FIF trying to have a conversation. Then I went away and came back. But tell me if I'm wrong, FYF. Basically, you're just saying him being in the Drew League is not helping him at all. Is that all you're saying?
To me, when time is precious, because you have a few months in between now and when the next season starts, you got to make the most of every month, every week. I think this is wasted time right here, especially when you have active professional leagues that will take Jello on right now and play him in real games that matter, real games where it's going to be better comp, more physical. I mean, look at how some of these overseas guys develop when you talk about the Lucas and all that. I just don't see how this is making him better. I mean, right now he has a shot that could potentially turn into an NBA level jump shot with a little tweaks, with a little game work, with a shooting coach, things like that can perfect it. But this is, to me, is all wasted time. And he don't have time to waste. He's already 2 years behind, and more prospects are coming in. And you have the G League Ignite, right? You got so many people coming in that can pass you up. You don't have time to waste. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, Jello has already been passed up in a sense of no matter what he does, it's not good enough for them. So if he goes to the LKL, they don't play him much. He shoots 40% from 3-point range. That means nothing to them. JBA Tour means nothing to them. Even if he plays Zalgiris, the same team that Luka played, and drops 28 points, it means nothing. He goes to the G League and, he drops great points there. Then they sit him on the bench and it's still wasting time. At this point, Liangelo just needs to stay ready. No matter where he goes, no matter what he plays, they're going to find a way to discredit him and say, oh, yeah, he shouldn't do this. He shouldn't do that. It is what they're doing. And this is why everybody hates when I say, just stay ready and wait for your brothers, because it's already been decided that they look down on his brother, that they're not giving him a fair shot. And no matter where he's going to go, he could go somewhere and do great in the winter showcase. They're looking for players left and right to fill rosters because everybody had COVID. He shot 40% there and he didn't get pulled up. And other guys that were trash got pulled up to sit on benches. So he's been in proper positions and doing everything to stay active. And he sees that, everywhere he goes, doors are getting shut. And it's not because he isn't performing. He performs, then they put him in a position that makes it harder for him to perform. I mean, he sees it. So why keep bumping his head at this point? Montrezl Harrell is playing in the off season at the Drew League. It's not wasted time for him. If Liangelo was treated like regular players, I might agree with you, FYF, but he's not treated like regular players, and he's not in a regular player's position, because I believe the trajectory of Lonzo Ball and LaMelo Ball is going to be at a status that they will be able to get their brother. Should it be that way? No. But will it might have to be that way? It might. But at the same time, there's some other things Liangelo might be doing. There are doors open and options that they're looking at and to see what will be best for him. But I'm going to tell you right now, just the name Liangelo Ball with these guys, they're trying to put a stigma on him where no matter where he goes.
But I don't agree with the narrative saying if he goes to the same league that Luka played in and you commit yourself over there, you lock in and you put in work for a year and a half, you can't tell me that it's not going to pay off and pay dividends to get you back in the league, because we've seen it happen with so many other pros, so many other players, so many college guys who didn't get drafted. They go to the NBL. They go overseas to some of these European leagues. They grind. It's hard. It's not fun, but they grind. And they agents are able to come back and use that resume to get them NBA contracts. We've seen examples of it. So just to jump to the assertion and say that it won't work for Liangelo when it hasn't even been tried. The LKL is not a premier league. It's not a premier hoop league in Europe. It's not at the top. The NBL and some of the top Eurobasket leagues are, but the LKL isn't. It was looked at as one of the lesser leagues. So he's good enough to play in the top league in Europe. He's good enough to play in the NBL with other NBA guys, former NBA coaches. That's where he should be.
And there's guys
he was going to go overseas
from the LKL that are in the NBA right now. He's played teams that are in the Euro League, like I said, Zalgiris, and at the JBA World Tour, which a lot of people overlook. There's players that he played against that have actually transferred to the NBA. And people don't know that as well. I probably should get those names. But he's matched up against a lot of guys, and he's done his thing. And if it's like people would have said the same thing. You can't tell me Liangelo is going to drop 22 points in 24 minutes in his first game and get benched for the G League.
Thank you.
It's all these type of things.
You said say that again.
Forget that diplomacy. Come with the facts. The man have shown he can play at a high level. What'd you say about
the G League?
I said people would have said the same thing. You can't tell me if he goes to the G League and drops 22 points in 24 minutes, he's going to be benched. So we keep seeing this narrative like, oh, no way.
Hold on, but ball facts. Ball facts. What I said with him joining the G League, I said, you have to understand what you're getting into. The G League is never about who the best player is or who can perform the best. The G League has always been about grooming your draft picks and the players you have money invested in. So it doesn't matter how well he plays in the G League. Their money was always going to be, and their priorities were always going to be the guys that they drafted, and they're trying to get them ready. So that's the problem. Go somewhere where you're prioritized, not where other guys are prioritized because money's invested in them. That's a part of
See,
understanding the
FYF, you don't
politics.
get it. You don't get it. You don't get it. It's politics everywhere because those guys overseas, they've been
Far
overseas for
less politics
years.
overseas.
So Jello's just gonna jump them, right? Just like he was
It's far
supposed to
less
jump the
politics
people
overseas.
that's in the
This
G
is why
League.
you see that's why you see no-name guys getting big deals.
Who no name?
Okay, like
Who
my
say they
homie,
no name?
like my homie Sheik Civ Survey. He's over there in overseas right now, averaging
No,
50
I'm
a
saying
game.
who said they're no name? You talking about no name in the States?
So all I'm saying is, in the G League, it's too many politics for him to expect to be
That's
given a fair shot.
every professional league.
No,
You
hold on.
saw
No, it's
that
not
when it
like,
was in
but that's why I said you got to
Lithuania.
go
Look at the
to a league.
politics was in
Go
Lithuania.
to a league where they're going to invest
And they
money
was
in you
bums.
and prioritize you. If he goes overseas and they pay him, because he's worth it, he can easily get $1 million contract overseas. If they invest in you, they're going to play you. Make them invest in you, make them play you, and build your resume. But as long as they have nothing invested in you, they're not going to prioritize you or put you in a position to succeed.
I can agree to that to some extent. Yes, that's true. They don't have no skin in the game. Yeah, I can agree to that to some extent. But listen, Liangelo is a money magnet. Okay, we know this. Everywhere he goes, he's going to bring some fanfare and even some hysteria. So that right there, you can build off that. So if you didn't have anything invested in him per se, coming up through the ranks or through the portals of the NBA, once he's there, they're going to make money. Wherever position, wherever place he lands, and whatever position they put him in, point guard, shooting guard, small forward, whatever, they're going to generate some cash flow that they might not generate with other players they have invested.
And they'll kindly take the money and kick you out the door when your time is to go.
Hey, Dex,
Make them invest in you. They have to invest in you. If you have $1 million contract, I guarantee they're going to put you on that floor and they're going to make sure you make a name out of yourself.
No, you don't got no $1 million contract in no G League.
This is the same reason why I just go down to college basketball. Why do walk-ons not play? It's not because they trash. It's because the school don't have nothing invested in them. If you have a scholarship, they're going to work harder to get you on the floor.
Yeah, but some walk-ons have made it, though. You know.
Okay, that's not a lot. It's very few in between. And the walk-ons, they get a shot, they call preferred walk-ons, and they have to earn a scholarship before they really see serious playing time.
Yeah. But go ahead, Ballfax had a question.
Well, no, it wasn't a question. I just wanted to respond because me and FYF kind of going back and forth. What you say about him going overseas, getting $1 million contract, being seen, I don't disagree with that. And you wanting him to do that makes sense. But what I do disagree with is you say he's wasting time. This is why I disagree. Normally, your logic on normal players, I would agree with you. But because Liangelo is in a different circumstance where his brother is LaMelo Ball, his brother is Lonzo Ball, is all he's got to do is stay in shape, and he will be called upon. So any time that he's playing basketball in general, I wouldn't call that wasting time because he's staying up to par. So in a normal athlete's case, it's like, yeah, bro, you're getting looked by. No one's ever going to remember you, and you're going to be gone just like that. That's not going to happen here. You see what you see in Lavar's house, the pictures of the brothers on the wall, stuff like that. That's at their houses. They like the same way. A lot of people don't see that these brothers still want to play together and see Liangelo coming along and have all the faith in him and are waiting to be in position. So that's why I'm not worried about it in that case.
So you're telling me he's only over here because he's waiting for his brothers to help finesse him a spot on the roster?
No, I'm saying he can do what he's doing because that's a possibility. I'm not saying that's the reason why he's doing it. I'm saying that's why I see it as okay. Where normally, if it was another player, I would see it your way.
But if that's the case, then that means Alex and Antetokounmpo and Kostas and Antetokounmpo wouldn't be overseas right now. They'd be over here just waiting for Giannis to help get them on a roster.
Well, they could do whatever they want to do. They still aren't Liangelo Ball.
And Giannis is the best player in the league.
Yeah, he got his brother over there with him.
Yeah, but he has another brother that's nicer. Kostas is nicer than all the other all the brothers except Giannis.
Didn't
Kostas
he get into something? I don't know exactly the facts on the Antetokounmpo brothers, but
it's just I just like I said, make somebody invest in you so you know they're not going to BS you. I always knew that the Swarm would BS them and use them as some sideshow because they never invested in them. Not anything significant. And that's the thing. At this level, you got to make these teams invest in you to show me you serious, or otherwise you don't get my services. I'm not giving my services away for free anymore. You're going to have to invest in me and show me you serious about helping me propel and get to the next level and showcase my game. Otherwise, you playing around.
Yeah, but you don't know that until afterwards. So you go to open gyms and you end up running open gyms with the regular Hornets team, and you're killing. They got to take you off the team with your brother because you can't. Hold on, let me finish this, please. And you're killing, right? So then they say come to Summer League. Now you're in Summer League. Then they say come to the G League. You know it's COVID. Tons of people are going out. You have every intention believing that you're going to get a spot. I don't think it's dumb for him to join the Swarm under the circumstances when that was the next shot for him to have. To me, for him to pass that up and say, well, y'all not investing into me, everybody else would have been like, man, your brother's there. They taking a shot on you. Go.
The problem why you can't take them types of chances when there's no investment is because, God forbid, he tear an Achilles or ACL or do anything crazy. There's no investment in you, and they can just kick you to the wayside just like that. That's how it is. That's how this game is. It's a dirty game because all it takes is one bad cut and you gone to the wayside, especially if they have no investment tied in you. This is why you can see, guys, people were talking about Max Struss. The reason why he hung around is because he made sure there was an investment behind him. And then when he tore his ACL when he was in the G League, he still had a shot because he was still under that contract. And they couldn't just kick him to the wayside like that. That's why Max Struss had, because you got to understand the financial game. You don't get my services unless you are willing to pay. I'm better than this. I'm not a fucking sideshow. And he needs to start putting his foot down because God forbid something happen and then they just kick him to the wayside and he really gets passed up all these people. It's time to stop playing these games. The Drew League and he messes around, steps on somebody's foot and does all this. It's raps.
And that's cute to say, but that's the Ball
cute.
family.
That's
Ball. Like LaMelo, he didn't go nowhere for the money. They played in different places, and it wasn't all about the money. They played to get better. And you like they need an insurance policy in case they tear ACL. The last name is Ball. They don't need anything. Hoopers hoop. You get out there and you do the risk. If you're not durable and you ain't gonna hoop, then that is what it is.
No,
you get out there and you go.
It's not about that he needs the money. It's about when you pay me the money, you showing me that I'm a serious. You're taking me seriously. You're going to start me. You're going to play me. You're going to make sure I'm developed. I'm going to be in the biggest moments of the game. I'm not going to score 20 one game and then you bench me the next. You don't bench a guy that you got money invested in. Why do you think that sorry point guard for the Hornets out of UConn kept getting playing time over Liangelo when he was trash?
And normally I would agree with you.
Getting playing time in the G League when he's trash.
But if your brother is the starting point guard for the team, the star, the next franchise player, why would you believe they wouldn't have every great intention for you?
They don't.
Yeah, we see that now. But why wouldn't you think that going into it?
But Ballfax, I said this before he played a game. I said he shouldn't be there. They're going to not play him.
I mean, that's good. That's good that you said that. That has nothing to do with your brother being a star player and them saying, come on, we want you.
Oh, holding on to his connection to LaMelo too hard. It has nothing to do with LaMelo. He needs to pave his own way.
And see, paving your own way, it's kind of weird because it's making it seem like he ain't put the work in.
I didn't say that. He's been
putting the work in. Paving your way is you getting out there and play. LaMelo has never played for him. Well, LaMelo couldn't win in his dad's league that they hated on the JBA. Liangelo went back for him and helped him get that title so he wouldn't be stained and say you couldn't even win in your dad's league. So he ain't never been like, okay, my brothers need to da-da-da. No, he been there for them, and if they'll be there for him, that's just what it is.
Seth Curry come up in the G League. He had to pave his way, and he is his brother Steph.
I know. So what's wrong with saying, okay, Jello went to the G League? Is he not paving his way?
I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with being in the G League if you make them invest in you first. Because if they invest in you, they're going to at least try to get you to the league because you're an investment. But if
that makes sense. I was just talking to the other guy who said Steph Curry went to the G League and paved his way. And I said, well, I don't see Liangelo doing anything different.
The only reason why I only bring that up because you said just now that
that his last name Ball, and why he's trying to make the point is even Seth had to pave his way. But see, and his last name is Curry or whatever. And I just want to say that because I'm already trying to talk whatever. But all FYF saying is if a team putting money behind me, putting investment in me, I'm gonna give this example. There's two companies. One company says if you get your education, we'll give you $25 an hour. The other company says we'll pay for you to go to school, and when you finish, you work for us for $25 an hour. You're going to take the place that values the most, which puts the most behind you, which is your education. That's all he's trying to say when he's saying between going overseas, which they all about winning. They don't really care about too much other than we trying to get somebody from America so we can win.
And I'm not saying that he shouldn't go overseas. I'm not saying that. If he went overseas, I'd be the first one happy to make a video that he went overseas.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to. You got to say it like it's supposed to be. He doesn't have to go overseas. There's already stuff in the works to get Liangelo on a NBA team. Now, it's a possibility that he might play the summer league, or he just might not even play in the summer league. He just might play the Drew League and then just go ahead and train it out and see what happens from there. But overseas, listen, overseas, that's one of the dead drop beat option. Because if he wanted to play overseas, remember he said out of his own mouth on the Slam magazine, yeah, they called me, I had a few options over there, but nah, I'm just gonna wait because I'm gonna play here. He said it out of his own mouth. So he knows the overseas route. He's not an idiot to that or oblivious to that. But his goal is to play in the NBA, and he's gonna exhaust all remedies first before that's even infinitesimally considered to go play overseas. That's not his first option, unlike FYF trying to make it presumably be. That should be his first option. Liangelo Ball has a skill set that is needed in the NBA, no matter what team. His skill set is needed on Golden State right now as we speak. And if we're talking about Boston, yes, the Boston Celtics, are you kidding me? They don't need a sharpshooter? Are you freaking kidding me?
But Dex, you gotta understand at the end of the day, he ain't getting that look in the G League at the moment. So everything you saying sounds good, but he still ain't getting a look. So what that means, they don't prioritize him. I said that real mix up.
Listen,
I agree with FYF and other guys saying I would like Jello to go overseas. I'm not opposed to that. I'm just against. I'm definitely all he doing is wasting his time. That's what I say he's not doing.
No, Bob, I'm saying if he goes back to the G League, I'm not. I would tell them I'm not touching your team unless you give me a two-way, because the two-way shows me you serious.
I'm not going to play with
me on now. Listen, when you talk like that, I definitely is 100% behind that. But all that talk about he needs to go overseas first, like he's not skilled enough to play in the NBA. That's how you made it sound at first.
You don't get the offer for a two-way contract if you're not doing your due diligence, which building that resume. I mean, part of the NBA is the finesse too. The resume counts too. You don't just talk your way into the NBA.
Listen, okay, let me ask you this.
You're not going to find me.
What the hell is James Wiseman resume? Give me James Wiseman resume. 4 games in college.
James, but it's different with lottery picks.
Oh, it's different, huh?
With lottery picks, he wasn't a lottery pick.
But what was his resume? That's all I'm asking to make him a lottery.
Lottery picks are volatile. They can bust. They can do anything. But they're lottery. They were lucky enough to be lottery picks. Liangelo's not that lucky.
Listen. What is his resume?
And with a lottery, he don't need a resume. He don't need a resume because with a lottery.
So basically, he was a lottery pick out of high school.
Listen. As that he was a lottery pick. He's getting paid a lot of money. So the Warriors are going to hold on to him until they make it work, even though it looks like to everybody is not going to work. But they're going to try their hardest to make it work because he's a lottery pick and they got a ton of money invested in him. The money makes the Warriors keep working with him. The money is why Markelle Fultz is still in the league because he was a lottery pick. The money, even though Markelle Fultz probably ain't even better than Liangelo, but he's still in the league because of the money. Make them invest in you, and you will be in the league.
Where the hell is Anthony Bennett?
His contract ran out. As soon as his contract was, he was gone. They didn't cut him. They didn't kick him out the league until his contract was up.
Yeah, he going to Minnesota and another team and that.
But he stayed in the league throughout for the duration of his contract.
Yeah.
The money, they tried their best to make it work. It didn't work. When his contract was up, he was done. And even sometimes, even after that, Just because you got the NBA jacket, they might give you another chance because you're a lottery pick and you got the NBA jacket. Just how it works.
I mean, like I said, y'all all made some great points. I agree with everybody. Got some decent points, but I kind of agree with Dex with just saying I don't think you got to go down. He can exhaust everything until and then view that as a valuable option. But I don't think you should go out leading him. And let's just screw all of this and get overseas. I mean that's what it seems like what FYF is pushing, and I think it's very dangerous rhetoric.
Yeah, listen. I don't want to hear these spin doctors. Listen, the man got enough skills. The man got enough skills to get into the NBA because we've seen a plethora of people who claim to be sharpshooters. They ain't really sharpshooters, dude. Not the way that we categorize as sharpshooters, and they still hanging around the league and everything else. FYF keeps talking about this money and things of that nature. Man, the NBA will cut you and write that shit off.
Hey, shout out to the panel. Shout out to the chat. Salute to Bullfax, FYF, y'all. Shout out to everybody. Dex.
Salute, police.
Shout out. Man, I just want to chime in real quick and say, I don't fully disagree with that, man. I do think if he go overseas for maybe just one season.
Here another one.
Hold on now, but just hear me out, though. Dak. Hear me out.
You guys got it all wrong, man. Ye of little faith. That's what I'm going to say. Ye of little faith.
No, it's not little faith, though. It's not little faith because, like I say, I watched it all season, man. Like, I was hyped, too, last season when he was going to the Drew League, when he's going to be playing with his brothers, and then he ended up getting a call over there in Charlotte, and he ended up staying. I was all for it. I thought that it was going to be the big break, but then they dropped the ball. So I agree. I do feel like if he's going to go back to the G League, he should get a two-way. He should definitely be on a two-way this time around. I feel like he deserved that. He earned that, especially with him playing in the Drew League now. He definitely deserved that.
Yes, sir.
If you don't get that, anything like that, I don't see why not take a one season overseas, because I believe he go over there and show out. Every NBA team is going to call for him next season, especially with LaMelo contract now going into that where he will be going extension, going into his extension and all. It will be all in that same timing. So they will call for Jello. I really believe that. So,
why you guys don't listen? Listen, Belize. I feel you, man. But why are you not listening to what's coming out of Liangelo's own mouth? Not no opinionated people. What he said out of his own mouth. I had some calls to go overseas, but I didn't take it. I turned it down. Basically paraphrasing. I turned it down because I know my destiny is here in the States and ultimately playing with my brothers.
I'm not saying he's not getting calls from overseas. I'm sure they want him overseas and he's turning them down. But I'm just saying, like, it's not a bad thing if he was to go over there and enhance his skill set, because the competition that he's playing against right now in the Drew League, respectfully, is not it. But I'm not taking that away from what he's doing, because he's showing that he could play ball, he could hoop. Yes, the competition will be better as the summer goes along. Like, you know what I'm saying? We just know that. That's just common sense. Like, we're still in June. So,
my brother.
Like, I get that part.
My brother, Belize. I'm sorry. I got to cut you. I don't like to be rude. But I got to shape your mind on this right here, if I can. Liangelo is an unfinished product. We just have the privilege of watching an NBA talent develop. We already know he's a sharpshooter. We know that. That's a fact. He done proved that already.
I get that.
But what we are watching is that he is adding to his repertoire, and the transition for Liangelo to play point guard is basically watching a caterpillar turn into a butterfly. We have to keep that as the narrative. Don't let these spin doctors spin you, bro. I know they sound good. Don't let these charlatans spin you. We're watching Liangelo ball. We're watching Liangelo, because listen, once he gets in that NBA, and he might play a little point or whatever, he might not play point. But once he gets in that NBA, they're gonna change their fucking narrative. oh yeah, I knew he was going to be there. I'm just saying, it's just that, at the time he just wasn't that, but yeah, he came along exponentially well, and yeah, his
Yeah,
growth and development, this was first. They're going to change
Bone Collector. They're gonna give a lot of credit to a lot of people saying that that helped him, but his game was always there. I believe that. I truly believe that. But what I'm saying is that for him, I'm just really still shocked that Charlotte didn't pick him up because they had both of those.
Yeah, but that was explained. That was explained because he had to get in the back of the line. So it wasn't hard for me. I've been saying that already. That Jello can't skip the line. And FYF basically said the same thing.
The Martin brothers, right? They skipped the line.
But they went through the G League. No, they didn't skip no line.
One of them did.
He didn't skip the line. He was in the G League, dude.
It's only 62-way contracts in the NBA to give out. They're very prestigious spots to get. It's hard to get one of them.
No, those Martin. Wait, listen. Let me give you the truth. Those Martin brothers went through the proper portals. They didn't just jump up into somebody's training facility.
Was not drafted.
I know it's a whole bunch of people not drafted. Fred VanVleet wasn't drafted, but he still went through the proper portals.
And then he was on the team with his brother. That's my only take from that. They was on the same team when LaMelo.
Did he go to college? Did he play college?
Yeah, he did play college. They played on the same college team.
Thank you. He went through the proper portals.
But they both tried.
Listen to what I'm saying. Well, I mean, that's debatable, but I'm just saying, we all know that it's a pipeline from college to pro. You follow what I'm saying? Now it's a pipeline from high school to the D League, to the G League.
That you gave. Wow, Wiseman's on because they got the college resume, right? Like how you were saying.
He don't have no college resume. 4 games. Wiseman? Yes, 4 games. That's it. He played 4 freaking games. 7. That's not because he was a high school phenom. That's what it was. Honestly, he probably could have went straight to the pro from high school if they still had that pipeline. But he didn't want to go to the Drew League. He didn't want to go to the Drew League because that situation with the boy from the New Balance, the intern, to play with Oklahoma City.
Well, then Wiseman get the
what's his name? Blasey or Blase or something? How you say his name again? Baisley. You follow what I'm saying? Because Wiseman remember he had that offer. He had the offer to do the same thing, and he turned it down because he probably was already promised that he's going to get drafted in top 5.
Because of his potential, he's a 7-footer.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. They look at stuff like that.
Exactly.
And they project you into the NBA.
We're not knocking his skills. Yeah, we're not knocking Wiseman's skills, especially in high school. We're not knocking his skill. But what I'm saying is that he doesn't have a college resume. I mean, let's keep it 100. That little stuff he played in Memphis. That wasn't enough.
It was Penny Hardaway. He got Penny Hardaway the job.
Yep, he sure did. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just keeping it 100 though. I mean, we keep it real. 4 games in college and then you get drafted number 2. Come on. What's the chances of that? That's like hitting the lottery.
Kyrie got 7 and was drafted number 1.
He got what?
He had 7 at Duke.
Yeah, but he got hurt though. Kyrie got hurt. It's different. He wasn't banned.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? From doing something, illegal.
Fair enough.
And plus Kyrie was such an outstanding standout. You follow what I'm saying? People wanted to see more of that.
Hold on. I want to jump on some on a quick take on them LaMelo. Yo, them UFOs, man, they don't got the rear at the bottom, man. I'm disappointed. I'm gonna pass on those, man.
Oh wow. At least I'm shocked you saying that.
Nah, yeah, man. LaMelo got to do better, man. Like I'm gotta go on the record with that one, bro. Because man, bro, I was looking forward to that one. He dropped the ball with that one. My baby girl gonna get them. Princess gonna have them for sure, but I don't know, bro. I think I'm gonna pass on those, man. I'm still debating on Thursday. I'll see how I feel.
I'm sorry about that. It was just so much like.
What's up, man? We haven't heard from Hugo. Salute to Hugo.
We'll have to mute.
What's going on with you, bro? Oh, he is. Oh, yeah. Hey. I feel you, Belize, but I'm shocked that you said you're going to pass on anything on LaMelo.
Nah, man, nah. Yeah,
shout me out. They said they haven't heard from me in a long time.
Yeah, bro, mute Hugo. Who in control of that? He talking on a whole other conversation.
Yeah. Nah, yeah.
But I just called in to say that Liangelo is not wasting his time. FYF was saying Liangelo should go to overseas, and if he go overseas, I'm like, it's not going to be bad for him. Listen, they do got options. Everything everybody said was, we all only know he could shoot, but he can't put the ball on the floor. So the fact that he's dribbling up and down the court, that's never going to hurt him. He'll always have options to go overseas. They will want him. And so, bump all the other stuff, these contracts. I'm just to put dirt on his name in the offseason when we seen tons. Kobe Bryant in the Drew League, Kevin Durant in the Drew League. Now that Liangelo go there, all of a sudden he wasting his time. Like that's where I called in to say, like, stop that.
That's what I'm talking about right there. On this one though, what you did see in the game, right? My thing is a lot of those.
That's the real conversation passes, right there.
Those half-court passes. So now that we've seen that a lot in the first two games, right? Just watching on the tape. So would you watch for game 3? Would you want to see a little bit less of that, a little more of him just bringing the ball up, showing more of his ball handling, showing more if he could set plays and get people in position, get open shots, stuff like that? Would you want to see more of that from him in the next couple games?
I mean, sure. Honestly, I want to see it all. I want to see, but it's like I don't mind those passes, but to me, his teammates can't handle those passes. So in that case, I would say, yeah, you're gonna have to dribble it up some more.
That's all I was trying to get at in the chat, right? That's all I was really getting at, because I know he could play, but I just feel like he needs to show his diversity. Like, just because that's what they're known for, him and his brothers, they're known for those, but he don't have the team that could do that right now. So knowing that he has to show and play like the point guard floor general, that look, I know that my team's not like that, but I could.
He's not there yet. He's not there yet, though, Belize. We got to keep it 100. He's not there yet. He's not there. He's definitely a work in progress. Like I say, he's an unfinished product. And that's what we have to appreciate about this, that he is actually displaying his flaws right before our eyes, whether we parade him, cheer for him, or cheer against him, or hate him. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate that he actually doing it, because a lot of NBA players, they take that and they go to the cover of darkness under a shroud of secrecy. A shroud of secrecy, and work on their game, work on something new to add to their game. They don't put that shit out there like that. And for somebody to criticize this young man because he's doing that instead of parading his courageousness, how dare you?
I definitely don't want it to come off like I was disrespecting this game in any kind of way. Me personally, like I just said, as a fan of the game of basketball, I just felt like he had the opportunity to go a different direction, and he could have definitely tried to bring home the win for the team. Like just playing under your dad as the coach. I just felt like he could have probably went for the win and chilled off those home run passes. And now again, Drew League doesn't matter. Like it's all fun and games.
Right.
So I get that part too.
He's playing for free. Yeah, he's playing for free.
I get that part too, right? But just the competitive part in me, like, so for game 3 now, next week, this Sunday coming up, I just want to see a little more different in the game. And if I get that again, hey, I'm all for it. I'm going to tune in regardless,
But he has to hone that skill, because that's what makes these ball brothers different, that they're able to pinpoint their target and precisely deliver that ball on the money, like they're Joe Montana, Steve Young, or somebody like that, Troy Aikman. You feel me? And that's what set them apart from a lot of people. So Jello got to get that skill back. So those 10 turnovers that he got, okay, so what? You feel me? Until he get like 4 or 5 games under his hand, them 10 turnovers might turn to 4. But he's still throwing the ball down the court, because that's what they do. That's what makes them different. You understand? That's what gives them that unique skill set that these other players don't have, or don't have the courage to display. That's what I'm trying to explain to people.
That's why I just feel like in the competitive purposes only, I feel like they should probably look to just improve the roster a little bit, like switch up some of the players that could maybe catch those passes, because I know he can make those passes. But if the receiving end, which is why he's getting the turnovers, because they can't catch it and not ready for it. So, but again, the Drew League is not NBA. It's not like it's supposed to be a big deal, like it matters. It's on
invitation only, brother. It's invitation only, brother.
That's it.
And you can't just walk up in there unless you invite or a referral. You got to have a referral or something.
But I'm saying Jello and his dad, they could get a team that I feel like could compete a little better.
And they get back on topic. Like the original question was about Jello Ball playing in the Drew League, and if that's a good place to showcase his talent or to work on his game, et cetera, et cetera. at the end of the day, like that been the only question. I don't think nobody been trying to sit there and knock his game. That's why when Flight first asked me why I think about Jello and his progression in the second game, I said no comment because I don't got my, I got my mindset made up. But when you ask me about the level of competition he playing against, if that's a good platform for him to display his new skills as a point guard or ball handling, I say no because of the level of competition that he playing. And like I said, y'all say all these different NBA players that came through the Drew League, but we got to start acting like people ain't going to the Drew League because it's trendy. It start off as like just a little summer open run.
Who cares
like
about that? Who cares? I mean, it's been there for over 30-something years. I mean, what do you mean?
And that's cool. That's cool.
Norm Nixon, everybody them went through that damn Byron Scott. You know what I mean?
Let him finish because I want to respond to him too.
I'm not knocking that now. I'm not saying nothing against
these dudes. Just be having these retreads, man. It's hard to listen to that.
There's a difference between playing against one or two NBA players on a pickup team and you playing against other NBA players like an actual roster full of NBA players. Like you can't tell me, okay, go watch this player. He playing in the Drew League, and then tell me how good he could be in the NBA because I can't see the competition level being on the same. Like he can
the thing is with that is basketball,
and then when he get in the real league, he might not do nothing. So I can't.
Hold on. Let me speak to this too.
You see what I'm saying, Ball Fact?
Hey, Ball Fact, can I just I just want to chime in real quick, and I just want to say this on the street side of basketball. Like, I feel like these leagues, it helps them with the creativity of it, and that's the part that you kind of probably overlooking, and that's why I said they would do good coming out to Dykeman and Rucker because I feel like it's just for them to get better skills and get creativity because they know the NBA. NBA is there already. But what the Drew League and the Rucker Park and Dykeman's and these things are during the summer is the
Florida Pro-Am
skills. Is this little skill sets that they
can
improve on.
Let me tell you this. It's a reason why these top high school players move from small town high schools to big city high schools to play better competition. It's a reason why you do that. You don't get better playing lesser competition.
But see, that's why I shouldn't have let Belize cut in because it's gonna go in and out. See how it is? He say just real quick.
But you know they youngsters, man. You just gotta hold your guns. Don't let them lose your train of thought.
My fault. My fault. But look, in that same breath, that's why those NBA players still do come to those leagues during the summer to improve their skill sets and get little creativity to go back in the NBA. Because if you notice, a lot of players, when they go play during the summer and they come back in the NBA, you see a whole different player. And now, Ball Facts, the floor is yours.
I want everybody just chill and relax because the Ball family didn't come together and say the next step for Liangelo is the Drew League. This is going to make the NBA scouts see him. This is where he's going to this and this and that. No, this is the place where people like Jamal Crawford go. They go and because they know in the offseason you need to still play competition in the slums, in the dirt, get it out the mud and build your skills. So it's not about them thinking like, oh, this is the next step that's going to take me here and there. And I don't know if that's what everyone is thinking, that Liangelo and the Triple B camp is really thinking this is the highest level of competition. And this is this is just the in between until the next season starts and where he's gonna go. And this is just staying on point.
Yes, sir.
And showing mostly the fans that he can dribble. There's not scouts out there like that. We know that. So just the assumption that Liangelo's there thinking that he's going to get a two-way contract just by the Drew League. That's not what it is. He's just honing skills, going back to the slums and digging and even in the off season, not hiding.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Hold on, let me ask Ball Facts a question. Wait. No, we ain't agreeing with no FYF. He's a spin doctor.
Basically what he just
listen, because FYF said he wasting time, and I definitely don't agree with that.
Ball Facts is leaving on
because this is June. Exactly. This is June. We're in June, guys. We're still in the NBA.
And that the European League is so superior. It's so superior that everybody's coming from Europe to play in the NBA because that is so superior. I mean, come on, stop it. But anyway, nevertheless, Ball Facts. Do you think NBA scouts look at YouTube content creators or some of the guys that's media affiliated, like House of Highlights, Hoops, Ball Life, and things of that nature? Do you think they take a look at footage for players that they might not even be aware of?
For sure they do. Now they don't go all by it. They go and investigate, but definitely I know for sure that they'll look up a name here or see somebody and then go further and investigate.
Yes, they do. Right. Now, do you know all of those media entities are at the Drew League?
Facts.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But like, even if you go back to like Baller's Life, like though, like people been going like I remember personally watching Baller's Life for watching Andrew Wiggins on there in high school. Like I remember watching John Wall on there in high school before they went to college and whatever. Like that's kind of like where Julius Randle, Aaron Gordon. I remember watching these guys on Baller's Life first before you know what I mean, got to see them in high school. I mean college and then going to the NBA. So I definitely believe that and scouters watch YouTube and check out content creators and see for the next big thing.
Because that's their livelihood, right? Because they're scouts.
Right.
They got to
And
bring
that's why
fresh blood to those organizations
and that's why I
and make
always go
money.
back to and that's why I always
Buy
go
low,
back
sell
to
high.
that's why I always go back to them saying where they say, oh, they didn't have enough scouting report on LaMelo. It's like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, it always baffle me when people bring that up. It's like, what are y'all saying? Like, yeah, I've been watching him since then. Like, you know what I mean? Because if I've been and I'm not no scout, like, it don't make no sense. But even with Jello, same thing. Like, it was go right back to him, same thing. They like, oh, there's not enough footage to say that he could play in the NBA or prove that he could play. But it's
They're
like,
going to
how?
always kick the can, Belize. You got to remember this. I know you're young, and a lot of
Yeah.
times these older guys be trying to, they throw words out there to cast spells and things of that nature. But they're going to always kick the can down the road. And I'm not being pessimistic here. I'm just being honest. They kick the can down the road just to prove their point because they have an agenda. And when they spew out their content, they can't contradict their own selves. So they
Right.
got to stick to the narrative. I don't care how clear it is. It's got to be so blatantly obvious for them to switch. Like, you know what, man, I was wrong. Like Bill Simons, you know what I mean, about LaMelo. It was
Yeah.
just so freaking obvious. He misobserved that one big time.
And like I
Jay
said,
Billis, all those guys. It
But
just has
they're
to be
not there to
so
be shown.
keenly obvious. Otherwise than that, if it's not obvious, even though they're wrong, they're going to stick to their guns.
and you know what's funny? Like I like to say, right, with LaMelo going into his third year, like this was Ja Morant's third year, right? And we seen how he broke out and how everything. This is going to be personally LaMelo's best season, like yet to come, and this is really going to be his trending season moving forward. Because I also believe that the Hornets is going to do right. They're going to do right, and they're going to give him this number one jersey. And I feel like that's going to
Shout
be
out to Athletic One.
that's going to be the break right there. If they give him his number one jersey now under this new coach, this coach is going to have him playing like Steph Curry. I already see it. He's going to, like, next season, he's going to be coming out like Steph Curry. Jordan
Yo, can I
Poole.
interject? This is Hugo Staccato. Shout out to Flight Sport TV. Shout out to the panel. Shout out to the chat. I just want to say real quick about the Liangelo situation. I think some of the panel or the chat not understanding that repetition and muscle memory, working on your game. You know, it's early in the summer. Visibility. You know what I'm saying? Competition.
Great take.
Does well for Liangelo because
Yes, sir.
doing playing in the the D League. I mean the G League.
G League.
My fault. The G League. The in and out substitutions, the erratic minutes and stuff like that. That can't bode well for your game, even though if it's a little bit higher competition. Doing the Drew League now, he can play his game, he can make mistakes, he can show abilities like he's doing now with the ball handling skills, throwing more long court passes, full court passes to show that there's different facets of his game. So that can only be positive to what he's trying to do and where he's trying to go. So I think people are overreacting about this and that and all that. He's just playing basketball, muscle memory, getting a rhythm, to make the next step of what he needs to do.
And another great point is another great take. That was a great take. But another great point to add to that is that the Drew League games is only on Sunday, so it's only once a week. But so if you
Saturday and Sunday.
No, they
Saturday
play
and Sunday.
multiple days a week.
But he only
Saturday
plays
and
once
Sunday.
a week, right? But he plays once a week.
Yeah, he played once a week.
All right. But my
Well,
point was
Jello?
saying, my point for bringing that up was to say all during the week, if you think that he's not practicing and working on his game, it is even more crazy. And then, like he said earlier, like he just said, It's still early. Like the finals is not even finished yet. The NBA finals is not even done yet. Like they didn't even start drafting the players yet. Like the season didn't even fully start yet, and Jello is just getting ready. So, great take, bro.
Well, I mean, it's obvious because when you see Liangelo, LaMelo, and Lavar with the Bone Crusher and the other trainer, you know that he's been working prior to the Drew League, and he's going to work during the Drew League, and he's going to work after the Drew League. But like I keep saying, and please make this a narrative. Don't feel ashamed because I'm saying it. Oh, we don't want to agree with Dex or all access. You think you know everything? No. See, that's that nigga shit. We know that Liangelo is an unfinished product. And that's the narrative. He's unfinished because he's adding something to his game as he moves forward. He's never stayed stagnant. He's constantly adding to, not taking from or remaining as. So if you don't understand that, then there's something wrong with your equilibrium. It's obvious because Liangelo Ball is an unfinished product. So why are we judging this 24-year-old so harshly like he's 33?
And that's just something for all of them. Like all of the brothers, they all been improving on their game every year. They all been improving every year.
Thank you, Belize.
Every year.
Thank you. Oh my God, that's wonderful you said
But see,
that.
Dex,
Every last one of them.
That's the thing about it now. Like y'all, sometimes y'all gotta listen. If y'all listen to what FYF been saying, he ain't necessarily
listen to what FYF is saying.
No,
He's on
no. Listen,
I read through that. He got a bet with coffee. He got a $10,000 bet with coffee that Jello don't make the lead. He has an agenda with his content.
That's cool. I say the same thing about his skills that maybe FYF may have said in the past or whatever. But I don't got no skin in the game. I don't see none of this because I personally think Jello gonna make the league, but he's not gonna make the league based on the skills. I think he's gonna make the league.
You don't have a bet. You don't have a bet with anybody, do you?
No,
so you ain't got to convince yourself. You ain't got to convince yourself nothing. He has to convince himself something. If you can't get nothing positive out of Liangelo playing in that Drew League a couple of days ago,
but that's
something is
opinion,
wrong.
Like he don't have to say something positive about the opinion he having. If it's a negative opinion to you, it's a negative opinion to you.
But he has an agenda of no panic.
No, and that's
obvious.
Cool. That's cool if you feel he got an agenda.
Because the same thing he says about Liangelo, right? The negativity he said about Liangelo, another player can do the same thing or even less, and he wouldn't say that.
But then when you're negative,
can you chime in on that real quick?
From his perspective, he feel like if he been prioritized by a team, you will see more Jello looks, you'll see more players around for Jello, blah blah blah. You're not getting that in the G League as it stands.
You win.
So why
you win. I'll plant my white flag.
Do you think FYF is going to lose that bet to Kofi?
No. Oh, go ahead. I know about
it. Was that to me? Sorry, I'm trying to.
Yeah, but fact, I just want to know if you think FYF is going to lose that bet to Kofi. He bet $10,000 that Liangelo Ball would not make the NBA season next. I mean, would not play in the NBA season next season, right? That's how it was. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, it's next season.
Next season, yeah.
This coming season, yeah.
This season coming up, right?
Yeah. I don't know if Liangelo will be in this season. I'm like 50-50 on that. You know, but I can't say that because we got to see how things position out. So I know he's gonna get there this season though. I can't say yes to that. And that's no hate to Liangelo Ball. That's just I see that the league is basically not looking at the talent. They look at deficiencies. Where when they look at a player like a Dennis Rodman, when they look at a player like a Draymond Green, they can look at is the great things they do. But they won't look at the things they cannot do, and that's just preferential treatment. You look at Shaquille O'Neal, can't make a free throw, but you're like, he do this great. Liangelo Ball can run the floor, play defense. Liangelo can score, he can shoot, and it don't matter that he can't do these other things so great. If you get him on a team with somebody who can pass, he will run that floor. He will be a person like Ray Allen, Steph Curry. You will be tired all game, and he'll be getting up shots. I don't care if he's 6'5", and he can do that regardless of not being able to have the best handles in the world. Well, now they can see that the dude can at least put the ball on the floor and get where he wants to be. He don't got to be, you know what I'm saying, hot sauce. Liangelo is ready right now. He's ready right now, period.
Soon as
Ballfax, I got a
Leandro do a
question for you,
bad
Ballfax.
crossover.
Shout out to the
All
panel.
right, go ahead.
Shout out
Go
to
ahead.
everybody.
Ballfax, I got a question. What is
Shout
the
out to Bill.
likelihood
Shout out
for
to everybody.
Liangelo to do the summer league this summer again?
Honestly, I don't know. I've asked some people that, and I haven't got an answer. So if it's something that I don't know, that's facts. I don't say it.
All
So
right. Do you
like,
think he should though? Do you think it would benefit him to go around again to showcase his talents again to the summer league?
not with the same team. Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
think it's got to. I would like him to go to the summer league again with a different team and a
Sacramento.
different organization that really sits down and lets him know, like, yeah, you're gonna get 25 minutes a game. Period. We gonna showcase you. It'd have to be a situation like that, but I'd love to see him in summer league. I'm ready for it.
The Bulls.
I don't know if it's going to be the Bulls. I don't know if it's going to be Charlotte.
Contractually,
Sacramento,
can he do that though?
Hey man,
Yeah,
players
those G
pay,
League
man.
contracts be like 1 year. The one he signed with Charlotte.
Okay.
Hey, Ballfax, can I ask you a question?
You can always ask. I don't know if I'm gonna be the answer.
All right, question. Liangelo, right? When he was on the G League squad, did he have to wear Jordans?
No,
Heck no.
no. He just made a decision.
That's that
You
crap
got that
that's coming
Dex.
from the mother
You got that
streets.
Dex.
But I'm gonna
got
tell
that
you
Dex.
this: you see what he start wearing at the end of the season, right?
Nah, I did see the G3s at the end of it, but I just thought he had to wear the Jordans
No, man, that's that false information.
No,
But
he
no,
definitely
Dex,
did not have
Dex,
to.
you got it,
besmirch
you got it,
the
you got
brand.
it. We always, me and Dex, we said it. We said whenever we get you on here, we're gonna just confirm that because I did throw you on there. I said that you confirmed that.
You lucky
He
you
did
didn't
not have
bet.
to do
Hey
that.
man, shout out to
Yeah,
the
we
panel.
didn't
Shout
bet
out
though.
to
We didn't bet.
Yeah,
Flight
you
Sports
lucky you
TV.
didn't bet, Belize.
Dex, ball facts. Shout out to everybody, man. Hey, players gonna play. Like him sitting at home and talking about my value ain't gonna do it. Him playing in that league, in the Drew League, it's the best thing he can do, man. Showing what we can do, being consistent, constantly being in people's eyes, man. Scouts, that movie that just came out with Adam Sandler, you guys should watch it, man. That's about a scout. Scouts go to the fucking ends of the depths to find a player.
Thank you, somebody. Good
I guarantee
gracious.
somebody has been looking at him for the last 2 years, and
Sacramento.
He's keep looking at him, and he's keep looking at him, and seeing he's getting better. He's gonna get a shot, but he has to keep playing. He can't take no time off. He just got to keep balling and keep being in
Thank
people's
you.
face, man.
And this
Right,
is
but
that's
I don't want to. I don't want to take nothing away from FYF,
Yeah,
but
coming
like
from
just
my point of view,
he
I got
adds stuff.
yeah. Coming from my point of view, I got cut 2 times. I took my ass right to Canada. 1 season, right back in the league. So you got to keep playing and keep being in those people's eyes, man.
good take, bro.
But the best place to be in the eyes is right here up underneath them.
You
Shit.
damn right.
You don't need to
LA,
go
right.
overseas
You damn
with
right.
a name
And
like
the
that.
thing is, he put up Drew League. Those are let's say those are professional caliber players, right? Like let's say half of them could play overseas and average double figures. You know, so he's playing against high competition, and he's putting up what
Hiding, yeah.
quadruple double or some shit. Like, come on, man. So he's showing
A1.
at a totally different position he can play. That's versatility,
Thank
man.
you.
And he
But
just
See, I'm glad somebody understand what I'm saying. And they have the nerves and
Dex, at
unmitigated
the same
galls to
time,
criticize
Dex,
this
at the
guy.
same time, he's a professional athlete. So as a professional athlete, you sign up to get criticized.
No, but that's what I'm saying. A1, he's doing it in front of the whole world. He's working on something new. Instead of being in the shroud of secrecy, he's doing it open in front of the public. Criticizing, say what you want to say, but be fair and balanced about it. That's the only thing I'm saying. I'm not saying Liangelo had the perfect Drew League debut, nor I'm saying he have a perfect Drew League second game. But he's doing something that a lot of players are afraid to do, and that is work on their game in front of every freaking body. But when you got a daddy like Lavar Ball, it's gonna work out.
Yeah, because let's take it like
Man,
this,
that ain't
right?
got nothing to do with his daddy.
Well, how about
that's
something like
It
this?
does.
What if
No. Don't do that.
But
Don't do that.
Dex, he's out there playing, not his daddy.
Listen. A1, you got a son, right? Hold on 1 second, Belize. You got to remove yourself real quick, because sometimes me and A1 bump chests sometimes.
Okay,
A1, you have a son, right?
Yes, sir.
And I'm quite sure at some point you was training with your son, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's only when he probably feel like, Dad, I don't think I want to do this anymore. You let it go.
Exactly.
But if he's saying, nah, Dad, I want it. I want it just as much as you want it, Dad. I want to be just as great as you, Dad. You played in the NFL, and I want to even be better. Then you probably tell him, yes, son, be better than me. Then you're going to go all out and exhaust your resources to make sure your boy gets fulfill his dream.
You're right.
You ain't going to turn your back on him.
Nah. But
okay, then. So how can you say no?
But like the key word, Dex, is he wants it.
That's what I said.
He's out there playing in the Drew League.
But when you have a dad like a LaVar Ball, who already is a proven commodity of pushing NBA talent into the league, why not?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's like,
why not?
Like having Drew Rosenhaus as your agent.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Why not?
Like you come with
It's proven.
Yeah,
Rich Paul is proven.
Behind you. Yeah.
If Rich Paul said, nah, I think you should do it like this, blah, 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 why would you not listen to that? He's proven already. He got a billionaire.
I guess
current billionaire in the league.
Is like Jello still got a hoop, so if Jello get in,
hey, that's obvious, man. Don't get, listen. You know what Coffee said about that Dr. Seuss stuff? That's obvious. He gotta want it. You're not saying anything nobody else will understand.
No,
but when you got a dad that's if you really want, but you still got parents. Listen, because I'm a product of that. I wanted it, but my mom and dad wasn't really pushing it like that.
I'm a product.
They can barely
of that
go
too.
to the game.
I'm a product of that.
You know what I'm saying? And sooner or later, I turn my ears to the streets. Like fuck
Amen. Amen.
I mean, all that that's all good and cool, but at the end of the day, like LaVar Ball did get his sons on the map to be like celebrities, but the NBA teams that going to get them, that going to not draft them, that going to sign them or whatever, like they don't.
Listen,
really
I don't know what part you don't understand about this.
The thing
I'm
is,
telling you, I was a nice baseball player.
One person, man. One person
to believe. And why not your dad?
To go into that meeting. Shit. To go into that meeting.
I wish my dad was like that.
I wish my dad was too, bro. My dad's a doctor. Shout outs to him, but because he had to go to school and all that, he could not go to my games.
Exactly. I got 13 people in my family.
Well, no, ain't no knocking against LaVar Ball.
And have nobody there.
I mean, that's
after
a fact.
a
Like,
win.
the NBA really don't care
what
LaVar Ball got to say as far as his son getting in the league. Like, it's still their choice.
This dude, listen, it's hard with no panic. I understand your beliefs, but I feel you.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's like, you know what I mean. Sometimes, you know, as a child, if you don't have that support, you know what I mean. You there. And you don't got nobody there. Like, I mean, after a game and everybody going to their parents and there's nobody there, you just got to go to, like,
it's a different feeling.
It's a different type of feeling. You don't want to play no more because it's like, why am I doing it?
And
if you, especially when you're good. Like,
and you're a kid at that?
You know what I mean? I was a solid basketball player.
Y'all moving the
I
conversation
was solid.
again,
like, you know what I mean? I went to LSIC basketball.
You get that part.
Like I said, I've been through it personally, and I've been through it from the 70s to the 80s, right? And then there's guys from the 90s to the 2000s. Then there's guys from the 2000s to 2010s, 2010s to the 2020s. That cycle is still vicious. It's a vicious cycle when you don't have that support system and you a standout athlete. Do you know how many people that fell by the wayside because they didn't have a good support system to keep their mentality going? Like, no, you got it, son. You got it, son. You know, and then people like A1 who son saw him on a roster and he go to school and could say, my daddy was a football player and this is his rookie football card, or he was a baseball player. Here's his baseball rookie card. Do you know how that means?
Yeah.
I went to school with John Robinson's son. I don't know. You guys remember John Robinson? He's a coach. He used to coach the Rams, but he made his fame for coaching USC.
Yes, sir.
I went to school with his son. You follow what I'm saying? And do you know what it's like to be a friend of somebody? And he was cool. He's a cool ass dude. You know what I'm saying? To be a friend with somebody like that, whose dad is well known in the area as a coach and end up being the coach of the Rams, coaching Eric Dickerson.
For me,
I mean, come on, man.
For me, the motivation was kind of crazy because, like, I didn't go to school with Kimba, but Kimba Walker went to Rice High School, and Rice High School was on the corner of the block I went to. So he used to play ball like in the community all the time, like. So, but you know, Kimba not being as tall, like, you know, we never really. I personally, honestly speaking, didn't think he would be in the NBA, but to see him make it And like Sebastian Telfair, like I seen him play. Like all of these guys around my age group that was in New York playing ball, and sure, the point guards, to see them, and I was right there with, not to say I was better than them, but we was right there in height, bro. We had the same kind of similar game, like, but I didn't have that, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's, to see them make it is dope. Like for me to just watch
dope.
it, and now to watch Lavar and them, to watch, like, to see them believing in it. I got a daughter now that's playing ball, playing tennis, like she loves it. Like she act like she literally watched basketball, like. And it's not like I'm forcing it on her. And to me, that's so dope. Like, and I'm just gonna keep it going. And that's why I'm chiming on this ball facts, like, on these like stuff with the Ball brothers, because it's like the content of what they got going on is just, it just goes crazy. And for me to watch ESPN and watch how they disrespect the dumb, especially Lavar, and it's be crazy to me. I'll be like, do y'all like not see the bigger picture in this? It's just, I'm not trying to get on that too much, but that's my take on that.
Right, and then FYF Nerd said we kiss ass. I mean, come on, man. So there's an agenda, because everybody knows there's no kissing ass on Flight Sports TV, and No Panic didn't even rear his ugly head to even challenge FYF on that. You supposed to be like, oh, I ain't kissing nobody ass up here.
Hey, listen, no. I say this all the time. Dex, I'll give you this. You're not as biased towards the Ball family, but there are some people that come on the panel without calling no names. They super biased. You can't say nothing negative, even if it's a true criticism about the Ball family or anything ball related, even if it's just about their game, without people jumping on you about it, making it seem like, oh, you a hater, you just ain't a third. I don't
Honestly,
think
that's
FYS
normal
got an
though.
agenda. You
I
think he
see
got an agenda.
I know he has an agenda when it comes to Jello, because he have a $10,000 bet. If you don't think that, you think he's going to talk against his own money? If he believes in the law of attraction, you think he's going to talk against his own money? I mean, come on, man. I mean, be for real.
But I mean, y'all chill me for saying pretty much the same thing, though.
Game, when he criticized,
that's like somebody shooting dice, right? You shooting dice, but you're gonna hit a point. Your point is 8, and then the next dice you roll, you're gonna say 7, 7, 7. Snake eye. You're not gonna do that. You're gonna keep yelling your point until you hit it. So why would he make a bet of that large amount of money and then say, oh yeah, well, yeah. Then you'd be like, you're a fool, because why would you even bet that if you don't believe it?
But see, Dex, this the thing about,
so he got to convince himself.
That's basically what I've been getting from listening to that area part where y'all been talking. He ain't necessarily been trying to dog Jello out. He just been talking about the level of competition and scouts and all that, evaluating his game. I don't think he really been knocking him. But if he was knocking him on another team,
you must got wax in your ears, brother.
No, listen, if he been
He's basically saying Jello's not no NBA talent, he's not gonna get there.
Cool, but
he betted 10,000 on it.
No, I get that part. I just saying, I personally didn't think he was trying to tear Jello down and nothing like that. I think what he said was like advice anybody will say. Cause I remember even Lonzo Ball telling him, if you go overseas and you don't perform, and you bet I'm going overseas, because if you come down here in that G League and you don't perform, shit, you out of here. So ain't like he ain't been saying nothing that I'm pretty sure people around him now tell him before. I don't think he been tearing him down as much as he's just been giving his honest opinion of what he see on the court based off of who Jello playing against, and you added in the fact that NBA scouts in at the Drew League just watching nobody, but the NBA scouts will go outside the country to watch a certain player. Then they have to see, oh look, so and so over here balling his ass off.
But the difference is they watching the Drew League just for Jello. That's a fact. So then there's that, right? But here's the thing with the brothers that I feel like when we
you said the scouts watching Jello in the Drew League?
Yeah, that's a fact. They are.
I don't think they are, but
you don't have to think that. But that's a fact. That's a fact. It's Jello. They are. They are.
See, but you can't say that. You know that's a fact. Like, is it a scout?
It's a fact. It's a fact. It's a fact. There's not saying there's like 100 scouts there. No, but there's one for sure watching them.
But do you know for a fact that there's one scout there? Like, you got information that says that?
But you say they don't. So do you have information that say they don't?
That's why I'm saying, are we talking opinion versus opinion, or is it my opinion, but what y'all saying is a fact?
All right. I'm gonna go on.
But hold on one second, guys. Hold on one second.
This is Holly Heat of the Hot Seat with Holly Heat, and this is Flight Sports TV.
Was it No Panic and Rave got a short
Big
Shout out
Bro,
to Flight
Carl
Sports
No Floor,
TV,
man.
the hottest shit in the streets. You listening to it, you hear it. We have a star-studded panel. You heard the engagement with Ball Facts and FYF and the likes of that. You heard Young Belize up here doing his thing, who be hosting the LaMelo Ball Show on Flight Sports TV. But guess what? There's a whole lot of things that we can do to improve Flight Sports TV. And one of the things that we can do to improve Flight Sports TV is help out on the financial aspect of it. Because one thing that you should all know that money and money and wisdom should marry. So if you want good, high content quality guest appearances and things of that nature, and you love to rock out with Flight Sports TV, dig a little deeper in your pockets, hit that Cash App, hit the Super Chat, donate the best way you can. Hit the like button, hit the subscription, hit the notification, engage in our chat. Our chat is free and open, just like our panel is free and open. You can engage with you is, but be respectful. Try to keep the banter to, similar kindness, but it don't have to be no PG type kindness. You can speak your mind and things of that nature, but don't forget that wisdom and money must marry in order for you to have higher content quality coming from Flight Sports TV. If you see the Cash App and the collection plate going, don't be embarrassed. Don't feel ashamed. Don't get angry. Don't get into your feelings, because everywhere you go of structure, there's have to be some type of financial fulcrum or a buttress of a financial system that keep that thing in place. So if you can, if you're kind, hit the Cash App, hit the Super Chat, hit the PayPal, or whatever means that you have to try to donate to Flight Sports TV so we can bring you much higher, improved quality content for your liking. Because listen, Flight Sports TV is addictive. And guess what? We're trying to put that into your arm.
Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the panel. Definitely hit them like buttons too. Those help as well. If you in here, definitely hit the like. If you get in the chat, if you throwing a little chat in there, definitely hit the like. We do appreciate that. Again, shout out to Flight Sports. Do look out for the LaMelo Ball shows coming real soon. We got some great, great, great takes for that. So shout out to that when that come out. Look for that. But again, I just want to touch back on the Jello topic real quick. Jello is really doing something great right now. We are watching greatness in the making with Jello, and yeah, I do come on here. We all come on here and we criticize their game, but I just want to keep in context that it's still young. We're watching young players still. Like they're not as developed in the season in the NBA season yet, and we're comparing them to people who has longer careers already. So that to show you that these guys are really on that caliber of high power. So just keep that in mind, and just keep watching them develop. Because I was saying before, like I personally would say, and we could argue this or talk about it, but if the Bulls was healthy, full healthy, I believe they were better than the Celtics right now. Like the Celtics that's in the championship, they'll be a better team than them Celtics. I really believe that. I believe that
That's a hard take right there. That's a hard take.
I really believe that because I'm watching these Celtics and I'm seeing what they missing, and what they missing is that Lonzo piece. That Lonzo piece. They got everything else that the Bulls got, but that Lonzo piece. Because Marcus Smart is not Lonzo. As much as they want him to be, he's not Lonzo. He cannot do what Lonzo do. He's not a better defender than Lonzo at all, in my opinion. Lonzo was leading the league in defense and steals before he went down. So I don't know, man. I really believe that the Bulls was healthy. They probably would have been in the finals right now against the Warriors, and it would have been a different matchup, honestly. Because I honestly feel like the Bulls probably would have took them.
Well, I don't know if the Bulls, healthy or not, will beat the Boston Celtics if they was healthy, because they also was riddled with injuries. Marcus Smart was injured to some extent. Definitely Time Lord was injured. So even Jaylen Brown to some extent was injured. But at the same time, I think the Bulls would have gave them a run for their money. I just think the Bulls are built different. Their mentality is different. And when you have that type of combination, talent, a strong talent pool, and a strong mentality that's formidable to withstand disappointment and letdown, but yet resilient. I don't see that in the Bulls. So that quality alone, to me, makes the Boston Celtics a superior team than the Chicago Bulls, because when the Chicago Bulls were sliding and slipping, they still were sliding and slipping.
I don't
When
know. I
the
feel like
Boston
that
Celtics,
DeRozan and Tatum matchup, man. I don't know, man. I
but
feel like that
Belize,
Jalen, man.
but Belize,
Zach,
remember when Boston was slipping, they went and had a meeting, right? Grant Williams, old man Al, basically chaperoned a meeting of the minds with Smart, Tatum, and Brown to get on one accord in order for them to succeed in their goal in getting to the NBA Finals, and ultimately, hopefully, they will hoist the Larry O'Brien Trophy.
nah, they
You,
done. They done. Remember, I told you this is a 6.
well, we're not going to even get to that just yet, because I
Okay.
said 6 also. So I agree
All right.
with you on that. But what
Okay.
I'm saying, to get there, though, the
All right.
road
Yeah.
they traveled to get there, you follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
How they demolished Brooklyn, how everybody seemed to be running from Brooklyn at first, trying to reposition themselves so they can avoid Brooklyn in the early rounds. Boston Celtics landed that slot. They handled it easily. Then they played the champs, the Milwaukee Bucks. Albeit they did not have Chris Middleton, but the Milwaukee Bucks is still a formidable team. They beat the Bucks in 7, winning 2 games in a row and closing the Bucks out on their own home floor. Then they go up against the number 1 seed, the Miami Heat, led by Jimmy Buckets and crew, at Bam Adebayo. They did them the exact same way. Win 2 games in a row and close them out on their own home court. Go ahead. I'll
Give
let
them
you
they
go.
grant. Nah, I just want to say, give them they granted on the Tyler Hero thing, just like he did with the Milwaukee Bucks with Middleton. Tyler Hero, 6th man of the year. Coming, got to give him. He was injured.
Oh,
that's all.
Okay,
yeah,
well,
they took
say for instance if he was injured, but Time Lord was injured. That's their defensive stopper. Even Marcus Smart was injured, but he played. I think a couple of games he missed. So okay, yeah. So that kind of cancel out each other, the injuries. So some might say one is more significant than the other, but this say injury cross out each other. When you listen, your attrition will definitely kick in if you playing that much basketball after the season, a 82 grueling game season, and then the extended season, which is the playoffs. Everybody is crawling to the finish line.
Granted, Dex, I don't want to make it seem like I'm taking anything from the Celtics. They earned them. They way there, but they there. But I just feel like next season though we're going to see a different Bulls, because I do believe now I feel a little more secure with Zach's resigning, and I feel like they got it all together, and they gonna come back next. I feel like Zoe gonna be healthy, Caruso gonna be ready, and they're gonna take them by storm next season.
But you don't think Boston could get better? You don't think Milwaukee could get better? Because they was already better than the Bulls.
I don't think.
You think Philly can get better?
Nah, I don't believe in Philly. I don't think Boston is going to get better. I think they right where they are. I don't believe they're going to make it back to the finals. They probably make it back to the conference finals against the Bulls, and the Bulls is going to beat them. But yeah, I think the Bucks is going to be there, but I think the Bucks is not going to get better neither. I don't think the Bucks is going to make it back, because honestly, I feel like the Bucks is going to be starting to descend. In my own opinion, I feel like the Bucks is going to be descending, and I think and I really believe Giannis is going to leave. He's going to end up leaving the Bucks because they're not going to go back to that championship caliber team, in my opinion.
Why not? I mean, what all they have to do is have a healthy team going into the playoffs, and they can be odds-on favorite. They will be favored over Boston if they're healthy.
Yeah, but They're not. I mean, I could be wrong. They don't scream championship team anymore. I feel like other teams is going to be there. Like I feel like Brooklyn is going to be better. So we got. I personally feel like Brooklyn's going to be much better with Ben Simmons if he's healthy and he's playing on that. Yeah, I feel like they're going to be right there. I like I said, I believe in the Bulls. And those are the tier. Like Celtics is going to be there in the top four.
I don't know about
You
the
know.
Bulls. I'm not sold on them. Because this is the reason why I'm not sold on them. Because if Zach LaVine resigned, like I said he was going to do, if he's going to resign, it's reports that he might resign, but those are just reports. It's nothing official just yet. There's going to be a tug of war between him and DeRozan.
Nah,
You
I
think
feel like they
DeRozan?
got it together. I feel like they got it together. I feel like
How?
they did because they played together this season. So next season, I feel like this season they're gonna know how to play together. And with Lonzo being there, I feel like they got it. All right, and also I want to go on record and say I was a believer in them before when they first started. I thought they was gonna be a team when nobody thought they wasn't. I thought they was gonna be a good team because I figured the way how they play, they play the wing, they play left and right, like, and they got Lonzo running up, and they got Zook in the paint. They really good. Like they got all positions covered, like on all styles of basketball. They could play fast, they could play half court, and they got defensive. So
But Belize, what makes you think these other teams are going to take a step back that was above the Bulls? The only person I can see taking a step back above the Bulls is the freaking Toronto Raptors.
but that's the thing,
Everybody
right?
else that's above them, the other five that's above them, I don't see them just taking a step back.
Well, that's the thing, right? I don't believe that they was in their true position where they was at. They should have been probably where Boston was at. Boston was what, number 3, number
Number
2?
two, yes.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Miami sounds about right. Bucks could have been 2, number 3. Like, but I had the Bulls really at top 4, but I really had them at 3, and I
But
had Miami
but that's
and
before
Milwaukee,
but
and
that's
that
before
was before the
Boston and
season.
Miami took off. Because remember,
That
Miami
was
was playing
before the
like doo doo
injuries,
too.
and
Remember?
that was before all of that. So
Yeah,
once
exactly.
Zoga
Yeah.
and Caruso got out, it was like, all right, wherever they land is where they land because they don't got they full team. So I don't I but where they was at is where they was supposed to be at, and that's what it was going, in my opinion, was going to be the whole season. So going into this season, I believe they will. I mean, they're going to surprise a lot of teams. They're going
I
to be
think
ready.
Cleveland is going to be better.
I
I
don't.
even think Detroit Pistons is going to be better.
If
I
they
think
get
the
that number
Detroit
one
Pistons might
pick,
make the play-in game.
and they get that what's that guy name? Uh, he's like 6'11", and he's like playing like Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant kind of vibe. I forget his name. He went to Gonzalo.
Oh, Chet Holmgren.
Yeah, that guy. If
But they don't
Detroit
have the
take
number
him,
one pick. Detroit don't have a number one pick.
who got
Orlando does.
Orlando, right? Yeah, he probably gonna
Yeah.
go to Orlando. That's a good pickup too. That's
But
a good
listen,
pickup with
I just
Orlando.
think Detroit's going to be better. I believe
What
the
pick Detroit
Hornets is
got?
going to be
Detroit got the
better.
what? Detroit got the what pick?
I don't know about Atlanta. Atlanta might be the same. I don't. But then again, you got to remember John Collins was injured, so that took from them. I don't know, man. I just don't see the Bulls doing too much better. They might can move up to fifth seed. But at first, I thought the Bulls would be definitely in the Goldilocks zone, and that Goldilocks zone is 1 through 4. But once I start seeing them playing bad basketball, but they would happen to be winning, playing bad basketball, and I never saw a change. So I'm like, damn, if Billy Donovan is comfortable with what he's looking at, I understand DeMar DeRozan is having a phenomenal year. He was very explosive offensively, and he was dubbed Mr. Fourth Quarter. So I understood that MVP run that he had, but I never thought he'd get MVP. But Billy Donovan did never man up and dial it back and start playing basketball the way basketball is supposed to be played with the type of team that the Bulls was and how they were offensively and defensively constructed. They was not constructed to play half court basketball.
See, that's what I'm saying. See those
Well,
souls?
I do feel like they're
That's
gonna
like
make those
2 legs
adjustments going
left,
into
and they
next
don't need
season. Now
breakfast.
that everybody is secure, all the players are secured. It's not about like Zach trying to feel like he got to prove himself to get the contract. Even maybe he wasn't doing that, subconsciously. He was, you know what I mean? Maybe whatever. But I feel like everybody's gonna be on the same page, and they gonna be ready. They're gonna be ready. The Bulls are gonna make a run. I just hope my Knicks do good, and they could make a nice little some type of adjustment, something, because we need something. I need my Garden to be rocking.
Yeah, so we'll see how that go. You think the Bulls will trend north? I'm saying the Bulls will be, more of the same, unless they they basically they have to relegate DeMar DeRozan to a lesser role.
So you
If
believe?
they,
So you believe Philly's gonna be really gonna be a good team next season? Philly?
I think Philly will be better because now they will have a full season with their big three, which is Harden, Maxey, and Embiid, along with Tobias Harris and Thibault if he happens to stay, Marquis Thibault if he stays. But I believe with that core, they're going to be better because now they're going to have a preseason and the first 10 games of the regular season to get it together to make that run to be around in late June.
And
You know
James
what I'm
Harden
saying?
got something to prove. I could see Philly maybe don't, but they all gonna be right there though. They all gonna be right there in that battle for the top five. Well, top six teams I would say they all gonna be right there.
Now,
Well, okay.
on the you still want to stay in the Eastern Conference or you
Nah,
want
I
to
was
go
gonna
back?
say yeah. We go to the West if you want to go to the West.
Now, I definitely believe Phoenix would take a step back.
Oh yeah, for
I
sure.
think I think Phoenix had the opportunity against Milwaukee. They It was a blunder. They lost that. I don't think Phoenix will get back to that status again, but they will hover around the four and six seed for next season. I believe who's going to take a step up. I believe Minnesota. I definitely believe Minnesota would take a step forward. I believe the Pelicans would take a step forward, and my final team would be the Clippers. The
That
Clippers would definitely be something to reckon with next season with a fully healthy roster.
thank you, Dex. That's my pick coming out the West.
Yeah, I could see the Clippers trending up too. North,
I don't think nobody
Clippers.
defense,
I
offense, nobody's fucking with them, bro. If they healthy, nobody's fucking with them.
yeah. Clippers is definitely gonna be a team to be reckoned with on the West next season.
Because you guys forget about the trade they made, and they got two guys that couldn't play because they was hurt. That 3-and-D guy from Philly that got traded to Portland, and they got the kid from Toronto, the young kid that averaged 25 a game.
Powell.
Yep, Norman Powell. There you go.
Powell. Yeah.
They got those guys on the
Reggie
roster.
Jackson still there. Yeah, they're gonna
Reggie
be.
Jackson,
Yeah, they're gonna.
Kawhi,
Yeah, Paul
PG,
G gonna be back.
Marquise Morris. Like, bro, they're platoon. They're ridiculous. The lefty that shoots the hell out the ball shot 43% from three.
Lou Dort.
Come on,
Lou
man.
Dort, whatever.
They gonna be.
Kennard.
Luke
Excuse me.
Kennard,
Kennard. Yeah, Kennard.
But
Dort is
so
OKC.
so do you feel would you feel Dallas will keep trend north too as well?
I think they'll be around the same. They'll probably be between 4 and 6, somewhere in there.
Yeah. They would have to pull off a heist to get like Zach or
Denver
somebody.
should be better. Denver definitely should be better because if they get their players healthy and they come back on schedule and they have their off season and they have their preseason and then the first 10 games of the NBA regular season, we should know what Denver is made of.
So can you give a 6, not in the order, but just a 6 for the West?
6 for the West, I believe Golden State number 1 seed. I believe Denver number 2 seed. I believe Phoenix number 3 seed, and Dallas number 4 seed. That could change. Those are interchangeable. I believe Clippers number 5 seed, and I believe Minnesota number 6 seed.
Dex, Clippers was number 8 seed without Paul George, Kawhi, Norman Powell.
I just don't trust them. When the season go, they take too many days off. So,
Alright.
they don't care about seeding.
Alright.
Now, that's the seeding now. I'm not talking about once the playoff starts. But the seeding, I don't think the Clippers care.
You don't think they'll have too many off days?
I just think they want a first round home game. From there, it doesn't matter. They take way too many off days.
That's a good 6 though. That's a good 6. That's a good 6. I can't argue that. But like I said, because there was no order, so that's fair enough. Like that could all change. It's good to see that you didn't put Utah up there. You think Utah is like definitely done?
They're done. Yeah, they done. They might not even make the playing game next year. They finna break that team up. Right now, they're exploring trades. Donovan Mitchell down there flirting with Miami with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. You already know how that happens. When they air quote work out together in the off season, they then all of a sudden become teammates the next season. So they just trying to see if there's some chemistry there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's interesting.
And that's going to piss Brandon Ingram off because Brandon Ingram had the Miami Heat as his slot once his contract expires, because they're not going to listen. The New Orleans Pelicans is not going to have 4 max players on that team. They're not going to do it. They're not the Lakers. They're not Boston. They're not New York. They're not Philly. They don't even have the cash flow like that. They're not Chicago. They don't have no cash flow like that. They have 4 $100 million players or nearly $100 million players. I don't think Valanciunas is a $100 million player, but Valanciunas is definitely a $80 or $90 million player.
Man, look, the Knicks right now. I love my boy RJ, but RJ Cam Reddish for Brandon Ingram. I'll take that.
So yeah, they're gonna see. A lot of people don't really see it coming, but the New Orleans Pelicans is going to basically blow that up. They're gonna run it with Zion, and then depending on where they seed, and I say they're gonna be probably between 6 and 8 seed. And once they do that, and the only reason why I'm saying that, not because of the talent pool, because they're a very talented team, but it's only one ball. It's only one ball, and people are coming up for their contracts. And when people coming up for their contracts, they start doing strange things. You know what I mean?
I will gladly take Ingram in New York, and with me taking Ingram in New York, I say Julius Randle, you could rock out with Ingram for another season.
Why do you do this stuff, bro?
Man.
Oh, that's so funny.
Come on, what happened? You don't want Ingram for RJ?
I can see Brandon Ingram in Portland. I can really see it because he might miss out the opportunity for Miami because Donovan Mitchell seems like he's trying to get that Miami slot. They really prefer Ingram, but they'll take Donovan because they're not going to wait around. You know, Pat Riley's not going to wait on no man.
But they got to make that move now.
And who they giving up? Victor Oladipo?
For Ingram?
Nah, they're going to have to give up that 6-man.
They're going to give all that up except Bam. Bam and Butler.
They're going to get 6-man of that. Tyler
they
Hero,
can build.
all them dudes going.
Yeah, all that going. Yeah, they can build with Bam. They can build with Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, Caleb Martin, and Brandon Ingram. That could be their core. All that other stuff can get the hell up out of there.
Oh, you saying to Portland? I mean to New Orleans. I was more so saying to for Utah for Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, I don't think they don't have to give all that up for Donovan Mitchell. But Brandon Ingram is a different type of talent. You know what I'm saying? I believe Brandon Ingram brings way more to the table than Donovan Mitchell.
I agree.
And that wouldn't even be a bad trade if you could have Caleb Martin, Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, and Brandon Ingram as your core. You can fill in the spaces because you basically got everything here. You got a guard that can guard the perimeter if you stay healthy. And Kyle Lowry, right? And Kyle Lowry, yeah. But see, Kyle Lowry, I don't know how many more years he got left though. So I don't really count him as a core.
Got a solid 2 more years left in him.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I don't really count him as a core moving forward.
Especially in Miami.
Man, he looked like a
But
little bowling ball out there this year.
I know, huh? Don't he?
That's why he can't stay healthy. It's that weight.
He kind of remind me of not Mateen Cleaves, but Khalid Alameen. Remember him?
Yeah, from UConn.
Yeah, from UConn. Yeah.
Kind of like a Raymond Felton.
Oh my God, he remind me of him so much. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, Miami can do that and snatch Brandon Ingram from the Pelicans. That would be a win, and Miami would be an onslaught favorite.
I like what you said in Portland though. If that means they keeping Dame over there.
Yeah, that would keep Dame. If they can get Brandon Ingram up there, Dame would definitely play with him. Because you got Josh Hart, Anthony Simmons, Brandon Ingram, Damian Lillard. You still got Nurkic. You follow what I'm saying? You still got a good core up there. And you can fill in the gap. You know, and any blanks you can fill in. So Brandon Ingram is a very crucial piece on the chessboard in the next year or two.
How do Portland get Ingram?
That is something to be determined.
Because if that was the case, they should have tried to push for that in the CJ trade, huh?
Nah, they wouldn't do it. That wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen. Listen. CJ got traded out of favor. You know, he's a president of the basketball association.
Yeah.
Players Association. So by him being a president, it's the same with when Chris Paul was president of Players Association.
Like
he went wherever he went. Yeah, he went wherever he wanted to go. They sent him, except to the Lakers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they said, nah, we got this trade. I mean, we got this on straight thing going on that we are about the small market team. You gotta go to the Clippers.
And another thing is that the Portland Trailblazers, they are forced to sell their team based on the wishes of Paul Allen's estate. So, and Paul Allen was with Microsoft, and he was Bill Gates' partner. You know what I mean? Then he broke off and started Oracle and became a multi-billionaire within himself. The Seahawks and the Portland Trailblazers. So they have to sell that team, and I forgot who was in line to buy it. But yeah, they got to get rid of that team. So that's going to shake up some things up there in Portland.
Do you think that team will go to Seattle?
I don't know, man. I mean, why would they? Because Portland got a good fan base.
Yeah, they do. They got a
good
one.
They're not thirsty.
And let me not do that because you know Zen gonna come up here and kill me for his team. So let me not take away his team from him.
Yeah, but Zen is more qualified to explain anything going on in Portland than I am. I can tell you that for sure. But what I do know is that by them selling that team forcefully, it could shake up some things up there. You know what I mean?
Nah, yeah, that would be crazy. That would be interesting.
But I think if they sell a team, I think
you should get another black owner. Just saying.
Chauncey Billups, I think part of the contract or negotiations is that he remains as their head coach. You know what I'm saying? There's no changing in the coaching staff. But I don't know about the executive staff.
It should be a new owner coming soon then.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Oh wow.
It's supposed to be this year. Because it's over with this year. You know what I mean? It was like a certain amount of years after he died, that team's supposed to go up for sale. So, and they're enforcing it because it was in probate. So now they're enforcing it. That was his sister. His sister was a owner of the team, and then she just took care of it until the probate shit was done over with, and then the team goes up in smoke. So that could disrupt some things as well, because when they bring in a new regime like that, a new ownership, sometimes they might want to bring in a few of their guys.
Yeah.
But I don't think Chauncey Billups' job is in jeopardy. I think he's cemented for his contract. I think they're going to honor his contract. The last that I heard about that his contract will be honored. But you just never know. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, that's interesting though. That's really interesting to see what person picks up that team. That's very interesting.
Exactly. So I know they're going to be talking about expansion. I don't know what year they're going to bring in expansion teams if they expand, but they're also talking about contraction. So I mean, I'm confused here. It's too ambiguous. One minute you talking expansion, next minute you talking contraction. I really don't know what's going on at the collecting bargain table.
I just hope they don't break the East and the West up for the playoffs or whatever and just do like the top 16 teams. I'm not a fan of that. Are you?
No, I like the play-in situation. I know Zen was kind of
I love
against
the
it.
playing
Then he
too.
kind of came around. Yeah, I think the play-in situation is definitely here to stay. There was a lot of money generated in those four playoff games, or not playoff games, but play-in games. That little round robin. So, and it
I feel
also
like
give a team a second chance, even though they're losing. They give them a second chance to try to make something of it. And the run that the New Orleans Pelicans had, the run that the Minnesota Timberwolves had,
yeah.
those are the things that make the playing game special.
I think but I think you should calculate the playing game stats as playoff stats because they're not counting it as in no stats. Do you think that they should be counted in as playoff stats
So they're not
or
counting it,
regular
huh?
season?
They're not counting it.
Yeah, they're
That's a
not.
whole separate entity.
Yeah, that they don't got. Yeah, well, I mean, maybe it's a new one, I guess, where that's gonna be like, all right, these will be the playing stats for players, I
That's what I
guess.
think. Yeah, I think that's what they're gonna do. Make it a whole separate entity. You know, the player, this player got the most points in play-in history.
Stuff like that. Yeah, I guess. I
He's
guess.
averaging the most points in play-in history. Yeah, I think it's
Well,
gonna be more so of that.
well, I guess right now then, right? So then Lamelo should be, somewhere up there, right?
No, not really, because he laid a dud in two playoff playing games.
Right, and it's only been two playing tournament. Oh, right, but then it's two. Oh, right. There's
Yeah,
players who could have played
he ain't
before.
nowhere near the top of anything.
Right. In that aspect, I feel you. Right.
So
That's
he
interesting
definitely have
too.
to get into the playoff. There's no play-in for Lamelo this coming season.
Nah,
If
yeah,
it, because
I don't think so.
that's an ultimate failure if he gets into the play-in again. Now with New Orleans and Minnesota, that was a little different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But Lamelo been in the play-in game what 2 years in a row now and
yeah,
got eviscerated both years by different teams, and the teams that eviscerated them eventually got eviscerated themselves. They got
yeah,
destroyed, demolished, demoralized when they got into the playoff round. So that says a whole lot about that Charlotte Hornets team, that in one game you could muster up the strength to remain competitive, and then the team that looks so unbeatable against you get into a playoff and get destroyed. But with Indiana, they didn't make the playoffs. They lost the very next game. They got destroyed by the Washington Wizards the very next game. You know what I'm saying? So that's devastating within itself.
yeah. That was bad.
Yeah, that was
But
bad.
my
That was
opinion,
bad.
I wanted to see the Hornets play against the Wizards too. I felt like that would have been a good game to see. Just to see the Westbrook, the Bradley Bill, you know, against the Rozier, the Lamelo at the time. But
Right.
yeah,
But let's get into the game six. I know Zen does a lot of previews, and the Zen, if you're listening, we need a preview for game six so we can run on flight. Um, the Boston Celtics are basically coming off a shellacking in San Francisco at
man,
the
that
Chase
was
Center,
brutal. That was brutal.
and they gotta listen. They gotta recover, man.
See,
They got to
my thing
recover.
is, my thing is again, man, and is that position for the Warriors, man. They got that. They got that. You know what I mean? And that's what changed everything. And it's Wiggins. Like, it's that position. It was Harrison Barnes, Iguodala. Then it was Kevin Durant. Now it's Wiggins. It's like, man, that the way how they play is beautiful to watch. It's just beautiful to watch. Curry didn't even shoot the ball as well, and they still got it done. Wiggins was really showing up. All them rebounds, still scored 26. Like, Man, he was doing his thing, bro. It was just great to see, man. Jordan
Yes, he
Poole
was the
stepped
lead
up.
scorer in a pivotal game 5. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with you, Belize. That shows a lot of maturity in Andrew Wiggins because it seemed like he was one of them flailing type NBA players. A lot of talent, but not a lot of output. And that right there, in that type of setting, with the tension at an all-time high, a tiebreaker in the NBA Finals, you couldn't ask for nothing less. You
See,
couldn't ask for nothing more. And he
and
showed
you
up.
know, and I want to go see like we see how people go on Lonzo heavy about how his career, how it got derailed and things like that, and he was like coming out to like, oh, he's gonna be a bust or whatever. Like, and people was kind of doing the same thing with Wiggins, right? But for me, I kind of followed Wiggins, like I said earlier today, and then the same thing, or watching him on Ball His Life from like high school, and then watching him when he went to college, to just because I already seen like, oh, yeah, this guy's gonna be the guy. And then for him to be the number 1 pick, he was projected to go to Cleveland, right? And that
He did go to
year,
Cleveland. He did go to Cleveland.
no, he got traded the same year, his rookie year. He didn't
Yeah,
play not one.
but
Yeah,
I know, but I'm saying he did get drafted by Cleveland, so
but
projection was
my
correct.
right, but my thing was what it was, right? He was supposed to be there with Kyrie Irving, Anthony Bennett,
Yep.
Tristan Thompson, right? And
Yep.
and I believe we would have got a whole different Andrew
Version.
Wiggins
Yeah.
of Andrew Wiggins. But then he ended up in Minnesota where it was like,
But he was
it
still
was
part of a good tandem in Minnesota.
yeah, but it wasn't.
There was nothing wrong with him being in Minnesota. It's probably actually better for him instead of going to Cleveland. At least they had talent.
I feel you
I'm
on that
sorry,
one, but
like
I feel like
Yeah,
but I
no,
feel
no,
like
that's a good
Kyrie.
take, Rico.
Now I feel
But
you. That was a
because you
good take,
remember,
Rico.
Belize,
But Kyrie Irving was talent, and
he
yeah,
was
that would have been.
injured all
I
the
think,
time. He was missing
but
20 games every year since he got into the season.
But
right.
he just came off that, he signed his extension, and I just feel like that was gonna be the core. And granted, LeBron came and they did what they did,
Did you
whatever. I'm
name
not trying to get
Anthony
in that.
Bennett as part of that core? Like
I
five,
think
Yes.
2 minutes ago?
yes, and the reason why, right? And just hear me
You
out.
said Anthony Bennett, what?
Yeah, he
I
said
feel like
Anthony Bennett was part of the core. Okay.
I feel
Right.
like he
Yes.
would have
Most
been part
definitely.
of that core,
But he
and the
got
reason
traded off too, though.
I mean,
he
he
got
was
traded off,
horrible.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I feel like they had a core in Canada. They had a core in Canada. Anthony Bennett also was Canadian, and he
Mm-hmm.
played with Wiggins. You know what I'm saying, in Canada. And I feel like
Right.
those was the chemistries that would have
Mm-mm.
helped in Cleveland.
Mm-mm.
That's
Mm-mm.
what
Bro,
I'm saying.
Now,
They was
chemistry.
all
It doesn't
young.
help you make the NBA, bro. If you don't have the talent to stand on your own two
yeah, his
feet, you
head,
don't
No,
Anthony
belong there.
Bennett head game wasn't there. His
That
head
was
game
it.
wasn't there.
If you don't
because he
have
was
the
drafted
talent
too
to,
early.
no,
And I
it don't
pause on
know,
that.
bro.
Pause on that.
Bro,
Pause.
if you
Yeah.
don't have the talent to stand on
Pause.
your own 2 feet, you don't belong, bro.
Definitely pause. But what the
Right.
hell was I
That
saying?
sounded crazy.
Yeah, he mentally wasn't ready. I'll put it that way. I was trying to talk too slick then, huh?
Right. That was crazy. Now that I
Now,
think
yeah, Rico, you have a very good point. So when he went over to Minnesota, remember he became a part of the duel called the Bounce Brothers
Nah, yeah,
because
I like
he got
his
Major
run in
Hops
Minnesota, but
and
I
Zach
love
Levine had
I love where
got
he's at.
Major
I
Hops.
just love where he's
Hmm.
at now. I love where he's at now in the Warriors. I feel like he's in a system where he got a point guard, and he got everything. He got the pieces around him for him to blossom, and he's showing off right now.
One thing about Andrew Wiggins, like I pointed out, Rico, and nobody patted me on the back about it, but it's okay. I know I'm the old head out the bunch, and you guys, want to put me out to pasture and be done with me. I said, watch the matchup between Andrew Wiggins and Jason Tatum.
I did
I
say
said
that.
that before the
Yeah.
season. I mean, before the series started.
You
And
did.
look, now everybody's on that. That's crazy, right?
Yep.
Now, what I'm gonna tell you, up to this point, Andrew Wiggins done his job. If Andrew Wiggins don't do anything else, he got the
Finals
Boston
MVP.
Celtics. Yeah, he got
You
the.
going
I
too
don't think no, he's not gonna
far.
get that. But he got the
You
Boston
can't get
Celtics
that.
on the
You
brink of
can't get that.
elimination with his play and his defensive stance against Jason Tatum.
You
Now
know
we
why?
know
You
he
know why he can't get that? You know why he can't get that? Because right.
Curry. That's Curry.
No. No, you know why he can't get that though?
Why?
Because honestly, it's game 6 Clay, baby. Like it's over.
I know,
Like
but that's
that's
about
why.
Clay.
But if
Clay's not
but
gonna
if
get it. If
but
Steph
no
Curry
no
no
that but
shows
that's
another
why.
game
But that's
and
why
Andrew
Steph Curry.
Wiggum outplays him, then yeah, he's gonna get it.
If Wiggins give you like a 40 piece,
He
Yeah, he
don't
got to
need
do something
40.
like
He
that.
don't need
Yeah,
40. You don't know. He just needs
40 and
Steph Curry.
12 because Steph
No,
had 40
no.
and 10.
It don't matter. Steph just
12
came off a
rebounds.
16-point performance. If he has another one of those, he's not winning it.
Well,
Like
we got
that's
that's
just a
something remain
factual
to be seen.
statement.
But I'm
He
gonna say
just did it
this:
last
If
game.
Wiggins give you a 40 and 12 and get Finals MVP from
He don't
Curry, that
need
would be crazy.
he don't need
I know,
40, bro. He just needs a regular he needs a regular 25 to 30. If
but
Steph
look,
Curry comes out game 6 with another 16 points, it's over. He's not getting
but what? But what about he comes out with 16 points, but Clay gets the 30 piece and not Wiggins. Wiggins only have about like 16, 15 points and
No,
maybe
yeah,
8 rebounds, 3
that's what
assists.
I'm saying, Dex.
Then
If
Curry gonna get
Wiggins
it
needs
then.
to have another 25 to 30-point game, and
Uh-huh.
Steph needs to play bad. If they both play good, Steph is gonna get it. If they both
Right.
play bad, Steph is gonna get it.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
They-
I agree with that. I can agree with
Yeah,
that.
I agree
But
with
game
that too.
game six of the 2022 NBA Finals, we all know is slated on the schedule for 9 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. We a couple of days away, I believe, at the TD Garden between the Warriors and the Celtics, of course. But we got to understand that the Golden State Warriors is one win away from hoisting the Larry O'Brien Trophy after defeating the Boston Celtics 104 to 94. They beat them by 10 freaking points at the at the Chase Center. So you gotta think that once they go up into Massachusetts, once they go back to Beantown, you're gonna have to add at least 6 to 7 points on the Boston Celtics side because of the home court and the pandemonium that is caused by the Boston fans when there's a game in the TD Center.
And
So
the Celtics don't lose elimination games at home. Really, the only last time that happened was with Kobe.
yes, they're very rare, and we know that Lucky Leprechaun always rears ugly head in these type of moments for Boston. And this what goes down in the folklore of the NBA when Boston Celtics come out with these rainbow miracles. You know what I'm saying? The pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. They seem to always stir up something and make you want to hate them all over
But
again.
you see,
know what I'm saying?
Jason Tatum is Jason Tatum's fault though. You know that, right?
I tried to.
Because you know
We
why?
was
You know why? Hold on.
discussing Jason.
Let
Oh,
me
go
tell
ahead.
you why it's Jason Tatum's fault. Because he called on them. He called on the Black Mamba to help him. You know he's Laker Nation. He's not going to let the Celtics. What? Are you crazy?
Hey, I'm
That's
glad
why
you
he's
said
having
that,
these bad
Felice.
games.
Yes,
That's why he's having
yes,
these bad games. Mamba is
yes,
not going to let him. Are you kidding me?
yes.
Man,
Because
game 6,
then,
he's going to let them kill him off right in game 6 again. Watch
yes, because Zen said, Tatum, let Kobe go. Listen, everybody, listen.
You did.
Shout out to
I
Flight
saw
Sports
that.
TV. Yeah, shout out to Flight Sports TV, everybody. Thank you for rocking with us because you could be anywhere in the world right now, but you chose to rock out with us, and we try to give you high quality content on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? And if we fail in our duty and obligation to usher you high quality content, please forgive us because, sometimes it just be one of them days. But today is definitely not that day. Flight Sports TV is a machine. Listen, all facts was here. FYF was here. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Rave Kingdom was in the building. Okay? Holding court. Now we have the Fresh Prince of Belize, the host of the LaMelo Ball Show here on Flight Sports TV. Check in with it, man. To these pages, AB the Hero. Check these people out. Go over to Raw Truth Media. Check these people out. They are friends, they are family, they are part of the community. And give them a like, view their videos, let them know Flight Sports TV sent you, and just be a good citizen in this community. Because one thing about Flight Sports TV, we bullies on the block, baby. We're an army. We bullies on the block. So just be careful how you pace yourself when you come walking up through these doors. You know what I'm saying? When you bend these blocks at Flight Sports TV. The Boston Celtics will host the Golden State Warriors. What you think about it, Rico?
I think, like you brought up earlier, this is definitely a Game 6 Clay moment. We're all gonna wait. We're all gonna wait on it. We're gonna watch it happen. It's just gonna be another page in the book of the of what we're watching from the Warriors. It's always happens. We have the Defensive Player of the Year candidate. We have the MVP, and then we have the number 3. We pretty much close out Clay. That's what we got to call him out. Close out Clay. That's who he is. But I wanted to actually add something to what you guys were talking about earlier about Andrew. Hey, Dex?
Yes.
So I wanted to talk about Andrew Wiggins for a second because y'all guys brought him up. I think Andrew Wiggins, he's a victim of our expectations for these top draft picks. There's never been anything wrong with Andrew Wiggins' game. You could watch him from his rookie season to year 2, year 3. I believe he was already averaging nearly 25 points a game. He's always been this talented. Intangibles is, can you lead a team? It's not a box score stat. Leading is not something that you can draw a play for. They need to have that in the locker room. Andrew Wiggins needed the correct vets to input his talents and take over a game. He didn't have that. He didn't have that with the Timberwolves. He was figuring it out while Karl Anthony Towns was trying to also figure it out, while Zach LaVine is also trying to figure it out. You had at one point in time what they were growing to be was 3 franchise players all trying to learn how to lead their team to wins. It wasn't a 1A, 1B, 1C. No, it was 3 leaders. But now that he's in this number 4 role to Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, where he could just put his talents on display, we can actually appreciate Andrew Wiggins for the player he's always been. I don't believe in calling someone a bust because they don't live up to these ultra high expectations. As NBA fans, we need to stop holding, just because you're drafted 1 through 3, you are not going to be in a GOAT conversation. You are not going to win the MVP one day. That is so unlikely. Like we got to do these younger players more, like we got to do them a better service. We cannot dismiss them. Andrew Wiggins ain't even that old. Like I don't know his age off the top of my
About
head.
27.
That's what I'm saying. I was thinking the same thing. I was going to say we're about the same age. He is not that old. So the fact that people were calling him a bust for already 5 years and he's only 27, players hit their prime at 28. So how you're a bust before you hit your prime, that's crazy to me. So like we got to give these players more time to
he's definitely one of those guys that, like I said, I've been watching and I really like where he was trending. And where he trended when he made his way to the Golden State Warriors, I felt like, oh yeah, this is it. This is home. And I really feel like this will be home for him. I believe he's going to be the corner piece when it's all said and done. And he's going to be a long-time Warrior. I mean, and that's of course if he don't probably make his way back to Toronto or something like that. Because I do probably see him probably want to go back home to Canada and probably do it up there. He's one of those Drake guys, Shout out to Draft Day. I don't know if y'all heard that song.
Six God.
Drake was out there saying Andrew Wiggins, him and Johnny Manziel when they came in at the same time, but that was crazy. That was a good time, 2014. But
right, I also believe Andrew Wiggins is a lab dog. You follow what I'm saying? And I say that to say that each and every year he had to get something tweaked on in order for his game to expand. So he had to constantly go into the lab to add to his skill set. And one of the things that I agree with Rico on is that people listed him as soft. He doesn't have a high motor and things of that nature. And so this was in his way as a impediment to get him to the next level. But now that he's in the company of a Draymond Green, who definitely have a high motor, and some even say his motor's a little too high. You know what I'm saying? Like, calm down, for crying out loud. So that is definitely what he needed. I don't think he was ready for Butler, Jimmy Buckets at the time, when he was trying to instill something in him as a young man to rev up his motor. But now he knows that he's on a quality team, and there's no room for those type of mental dilaptations during the course of a season. So he have to stay on his mental A game at all times, because you never know when you might even get the ball or when you're going to be called on to do something special for a team like Golden State. So definitely he's a lab dog, and I believe now he's basically coming out of the lab and he's just showing so much maturity, because when you take on a role of trying to secure Jason Tatum or even slow him down to the point where he's basically relegated to just mere mortal numbers, Andrew Wiggins has definitely ate his ambrosia, and it is showing.
And this is the second player. He's building a resume now. People can't say, this is one series. He played great defense. They just beat not the Warriors. They just beat the Mavericks. And he was Luka Doncic's primary defender. Right? So this player, he's building a resume for being one of the better defenders in the NBA. He's definitely putting eyes on himself. And don't be surprised next season if you get some all defensive votes, or if people start talking about all defensive Andrew Wiggins.
Good point. Yes, good point.
He's definitely putting talents on display, and this is the perfect place. It's the NBA Finals.
What you think about that, Belize? Oh, Hugo, are you available, Hugo?
Yes, I am. So Andrew Wiggins is not a breath of fresh air, because slowly but surely he was like making progress, and what helped is the injuries that happened right in the season. I think when was he traded? Last year, right? It was the trade happened, right? Or am I mistaken? But either way, he got time to for this season, to more playing time. He got his confidence. He made the All-Star team, and that was just the building blocks to what we're seeing now, finally paying off in the finals. He gained his confidence. The coaching staff and the higher ups gave him that key to be himself, no pressure at all. Just play your game, use your athleticism, use your athletic prowess on defense, be that two-way player that he's always been. He's always shown flashes of playing defense, being athletic, So he's just putting it all together now to where, he doesn't have to be the main guy, to where the pressure's all on him. He can just play his game, and I think that has helped him gain confidence. And I think moving forward, now that he's showcasing his true potential on the biggest stage in NBA, in the NBA Finals now, that should carry through his career. And I feel like Golden State is a place where an individual can come, right, where they have a culture of, for the team, no one's really that bigger than the team, and the what's the word I'm looking for? The culture, right? The culture of teamwork and spreading the ball. And by having that sort of environment, players that may be misfits and trying to find their way get the chance to showcase their talents, and they're groomed, just like you see Jordan Poole now gaining confidence and things of that nature. Golden State is like the perfect organization where the team comes first and no one's bigger than the team. So this is perfect for him, and that's why he's shining now on this stage.
I just want to highlight something you just said, and it's actually a very good point. It's amazing to see how unselfish a team can be when your star player, your best player, plays off ball primarily. When he's not the primary ball handler, he just plays within the flow of an offense, doesn't dictate anything. He'll let if Klay Thompson wants to go in game 6 and have 10 assists passing to Steph Curry's not going to get mad because he's not dribbling too much. Like it, and that trickles down, as you said, to everybody on the roster. Andrew Wiggins can't be a selfish player when he sees somebody as good as Steph Curry giving up shots to other people. And that works for everybody. And that, like I said, it goes down the line. If Steph Curry is passing up his own shots to give to his role players, then it's kind of hard to be selfish. It's hard to look out for yourself when somebody's already looking after you. You just want to give back in that situation. That's something that's not highlighted. It's just good. Thank you.
Yeah, funny you say that, Rico. I'm going to piggyback on that even more. I know I brought it up, but people fail to realize, right, in the first round, right, Steph was coming off of the ankle injury, right? He could have played limited minutes. He could have been a starter, but he's like, nah. Jordan Poole was doing his thing. He was gaining momentum, right? And he's like, you know what? For the first round, I'm coming off the bench. So if your superstar has no issue, right, because he played several games, coming off bench. And I think the second game, he could have said, nah, it's time for me, getting that starting lineup. But the chemistry was so great in what they were doing at the time, right? At the time, that I was like, this is your number one superstar saying, you know what, you guys, the team is winning, right? And everything's flowing great. Let me continue to come off the bench and let Jordan Poole start. And like they were doing amazing. So if your superstar can do that, like no one can say I'm bigger. Like I can't, sacrifice for the team. And one more thing, you guys notice, right? Draymond Green, he has a big personality, what have you. He was benched, right, in the biggest game of the season, game 4, right? And they benched him. And it was for the team, and he had no choice but to accept. Yeah, he's a competitor. He wants to play, but he knows that in this culture, everything's for the team. And look, that game, if the Warriors had lost that game, it would have been over for them, clearly. But, the sacrifice for the team, Steph Curry having his most important game, best game, not the most high scoring game, but the best game that he's had his whole career, statement game. And that, momentum is important, and that propelled them right to the next game, to where he didn't even shoot well, but he wasn't shooting well, but he had 8 assists, right? And, playing for the team. And it's all about the team. That's why I like the Golden State Warriors so much, is because it's very team oriented, where everyone shares the ball. What basketball player wouldn't want to play for a team where everybody knows it's not about me, but it's about we? So
yes, definitely agree with that. Dex, you got anything to add on?
No, I'm just listening. Y'all go for it.
Yeah, no, it's funny that you brought that up. When it comes to these superstars playing off ball, it's a lost art for some reason. I don't get it. Sometime in history, we started demonizing players for playing within a system, or for playing under coaches who instill systems. The system isn't really to help the superstar player. A superstar is always going to be a superstar no matter what system you put them in, for the most part. The system is really to help the others, if you want to call them that. The role players, your 6th man, your 4th through 7th scoring option. That's who the system is for, because they're not talented enough to get their own shot or create a good look when the offense needs it. So by Steph Curry buying into this off-ball offense, he allows all of these other players to play better because they're not doing anything that they're extra. All he's doing is running around, creating all of this space, him and Clay. And actually, it's all of them at this point because they're all pretty good shooters. But for the most part, it's Steph and Clay running around, and they're creating all of this space for everybody on the team. That it makes it really easy to play unselfish basketball, and that's why they can keep that core together for so long. Plug in all of these pieces, oddball pieces at that. A lot of these players that they've gotten is players that other teams gave up on, and it still works. Not only does it work, it works to the tune of winning a championship. I may be jumping the gun, but I'm going to say it. It works to the tune of them winning a championship because I was going back. I was saying that it's a lost art. I remember going back and watching Larry Bird and realizing, wait, Larry Bird played off ball a lot more than people say. They actually don't even bring it up when speaking about it. Magic Johnson played off ball a lot more than people want to talk about. But it allows the other players to play better. A lot of people don't know Magic at one point was playing with 3 20-point per game scorers, and also 2 more people averaging almost 10 points. That's the ability of playing off ball. When you're an amazing passer, everybody eats, not just you.
Yeah, and I agree. To add on to that, when you move the ball and there's constant moving, right, and sharing of the ball. And see, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm pretty sure you might, is that even though the Warriors play great defense, they're the second rated defense behind Boston, even though now they've ramped up their defense the last two games, right? Where I think they're outplaying Boston, right? But what people don't pay attention to is their offense is actually their defense, and I'll explain why, right? So what people don't understand is, or may understand, is that the Warriors actually wear you down because they're so constantly moving that when the opponents are playing defense, they tire them out because it's not you can't play defense in a set or standing still. They're moving around so much that you got to chase Curry, you got to chase Clay, you got to chase Jordan Poole. Everyone's cutting, and they tire these teams out. So by the time the winning quarters coming, like the third and the fourth quarter, teams are so tired that it's hard for them, right, to have the energy, for that last burst. And I'm sure people who know basketball can see what they're seeing is that they tire and wear teams out, and that's how they're able to get the edge on most teams, because most teams, they play your turn, my turn. That's pretty much how the Celtics tend to play, or how they're playing right now. Brooklyn, I'm a Brooklyn fan, but it's really one-on-one basketball, your turn, my turn. But the beautiful thing about the Warriors is that there's so much constant movement that you always have to play defense. And they're forcing Tatum to play defense. They're forcing Jaylen Brown to play defense, and when your star player has to go chasing around, Wiggins and Clay and stuff like that, you're not going to have the energy, to, for the fourth quarter to finish teams off, So I think for game 6, it's going to be a tough game, right? But as long as the Warriors take care of the ball, right? Right, and do what they've been doing, ramp up the defense and bring that intensity and play game 6 like it's actual game 7, right? I think they have a good shot at closing it out tomorrow. So that's just my take on that.
Wow. I don't know if listen. Right now, Vegas got the Celtics at -4. They are the favorite. If you play the money line on the game tomorrow, the Warriors are +137. Damn, that is a hell of a value bet. It is very tempting. It's almost seemed like Vegas is begging you to take the Warriors because the Warriors actually won 2 games in a row, and that's the first time Boston has been faced with a 2-game loss going into a brink of elimination. So can they respond? They're a young team. Can they get their faculties together and bounce back and show the level of resiliency that they have shown in previous series in this championship run to the NBA Finals? Because the campaign that the Boston Celtics have been on, it just seemed like they just have a knack for getting over the hump when need be. At the same time, they have yet to face a Golden State Warriors that is formidable and that is the hegemony of sovereignty. The Golden State Warriors is on a revenge tour. They will have something to prove. Also, Steph has an unquenchable thirst to become Finals MVP. So they have a lot of motivation and a lot of backstories behind them. Klay Thompson wants to prove to the world that he's still valuable and he's still valuable, and also that he can get the job done when need be. As Hugo said, Game 6 Klay, will he rise to the occasion or will he be muffled and held back by the tenacious defense of Jaylen Brown and company? So you got a lot hanging on the hat here with the Golden State Warriors going into the TD Center Thursday. I just believe the Boston Celtics is listed as a minus 167. So you got to put $167 on the Boston Celtics just to win 100.
Yeah.
So I mean, listen, heading into Game 6, the Warriors are 5-1 with a 3-2 lead under head coach Steve Kerr, and I just believe that it's a possibility they close them out, but I just don't see it for some reason. I want to say, listen, I said in 6, but something is just hitting on me that the Boston Celtics is going to find a way to win this game because the Warriors will love to close out a championship in the Chase Center for the 7th game. They have yet to do that. They have yet to win a championship in the Chase Center. So it just feels that the movement is geared towards closing out the Celtics.
We got to get out of here.
Okay, yes, sir. Salute to Flight Sports TV.
It's fine. Salute down, man.
Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.